Westminster Bruins, this marks the first time in 2 years that they have faced a team from the Eastern Division. The Western Hockey League has gone back to full interlocking play this year, and there's many people excited about seeing a fresh team at Queen's Park Arena. The Bruins are off to a terrific start. They have 10 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie. And while their fans are thrilled of that, let's hear what their coach, John Van Horlick, thinks of their terrific start.
Well, certainly we were optimistic going into the season, and we have got off to a good start, but it's one thing to get off to a good start, Dan. It's another thing to keep it going in the right direction, and that's what we're working on right now. We're excited, but certainly we also realize it's a long season, and the season certainly isn't won in the first 14 games. It
seems that every phase of your game is going pretty well. Is there any concerns on your part?
Well, we think that we've had consistency, and that's what we've been striving for. We wanted to get good goaltending. We have been getting it, and the defense has been pretty strong, and all 3, 4 forward lines that we've used have been consistent. I guess Barnes' line has probably stood above the other 3 or 4, or the other 3 lines for the most part, but all 4 lines have contributed in winning hockey games for us.
From a coaching standpoint, coaching against Saskatoon, you haven't even seen this year. What kinds of problems does that pose?
Well, certainly, the National Hockey League is posed with that almost game after game, 21 teams in the National Hockey League now. So it's just something that you have to be used to, and certainly have to be prepared for, that you've got your team playing well, and that if there's one really good line on the other hockey team, then you've got a good checking line that can offset that line. But if you can get a jump early in the game and get up by a few games, by a few goals, then you can basically play the game you want to play. So you have to wait and see how the game goes and take it from there.
So what kind of game do you expect tonight?
Well, from every report that we've heard, that Saskatoon is a team very similar to our hockey team. They go to the body, and they hit, whether they're a small guy, they hit anyone that's on the ice, and they don't pick their spots. And that's what we've been trying to get our guys to do, and we should have a very exciting hockey game tonight.
That is Coach John Van Horlick. With us now is Bill Wilms, and by all reports, Bill, it's going to be a good hockey game tonight.
I think this is a good Saskatoon team we're seeing here tonight, Dan, and needless to say, we've got a Bruin team that's off to a fantastic start. They've got to be very, very high just from the standpoint of coming back last night and winning after being down 3 goals to nothing early in the first period. So I'm excited about it, and they're really expecting a good crowd here tonight, too.
From our standpoint, we have the same problem, I think, as the New Westminster Bruins have, and that is we haven't seen Saskatoon play, but we do have a pretty good beat on them. What are the keys for the Bruins tonight?
Well, they're going to have to do some of the things that have got them this far. I've kind of given the goaltending edge here to Saskatoon, because they've got a kid playing in there who happened to be a 3rd-round draft choice, last year of a National Hockey League team. His name is Cheval-Dave. The offensive play, I really call it a toss-up, Dan. It's both teams are scoring equally well. I've given a little bit of an edge to the New West Bruins from the defensive play. I think they've got a little bit more of a commitment to defense than the Saskatoon team has, and they're playing at home. The physical play, again, both teams play very aggressively. We've got a big Saskatoon defense here that can score as well, and they are very physical. This is a good Saskatoon specialty team, Dan. They've got penalty killing is about 86%. Their power play is going at about 32%. However, we've got to give the experience in terms of returning players to the Bruins. Hey, and how can you not give New West the momentum coming back last night in a big game in Portland? Saskatoon just coming off, 3 losses in a row. So looking at that chart there, Dan, we're in for a good hockey game here tonight.
We know the Western teams have trouble when they go to the East. Do the Eastern teams have the same trouble coming west?
I think it's always difficult to come out here to play. I think you go into a team like Portland's building with 8,000 or 9,000 fans. You come in here. This is always a rowdy rink, and it's especially so this year. Anybody that hasn't been coming out to these games has really been missing something, because we really do have a good building here. So it's tough coming to the coast.
All right, there's a look at the Eastern standings, and even though Saskatoon's in 5th place right now, they are only a few points out of being in 2nd place. It's a pretty good logjam in the East.
Oh, they got good teams, and while we have that right there, we'll might mention that next week we've got the team just ahead of Saskatoon, the Brandon team, in here for a game next Sunday night. So we really look forward to this interlocking play. I don't know what kind of a deal it ends up being financially for the teams involved, but I know the spectators, and certainly we like it.
All right, in the Western Division tonight, this game, of course, means a lot to the New Westminster Bruins because with a victory tonight and Kamloops idle, the New Westminster Bruins, as you can see, can pull to within 1 point of first-place Kamloops, and they will have actually 2 games in hand starting play tonight and only 1 game after tonight. That is a little incorrect on our screen, but it's a big game for New West.
And I noticed none other than Big Ken Hitchcock in the building tonight, coming out here from Kamloops last night to scout and see what's going on in this building. But yeah, this is, you know, I mean, we said last week on the telecast, Dan, that junior hockey is either a series of highs or lows, and Bruins have had some very high years. They had some very low years the last couple seasons, and when you look at that standing, 10 wins, 2 losses, or 3 losses, they're off to another good high year.
All right, Bill, look forward to your comments throughout the night. It's the New Westminster Bruins and the Saskatoon Blades from Queen's Park Arena. Stand by for the first period on Western 4 Sports.
Life is special. Choose to be a non-smoker.
Air. Air free. It can be, you know.
Brought to you with love by the Canadian Cancer Society.
Serving the communities of New Westminster, Surrey, Langley, Fort Langley, and Aldergrove, this is Western 4 Community Television.
Welcome back to Queen's Park Arena. Dan Russell with Bill Wilms. We're getting set for the start of the first period between the New Westminster Bruins and the Saskatoon Blades. Bill, we got a pretty good goaltending duel out there tonight.
Boy, we got feisty Ray Woodley. I've liked him ever since he played for the Richmond Sockeyes a couple years ago. He was an outstanding goaltender in the BC Junior Hockey League, and it looks like he's taken that right up into Major Junior here. He's got a 7-win, 2-loss record, 88% save.
And he hurt his knee earlier in the week. He is playing with a sore leg.
We thought we might see Dusty Imu again tonight. After the warm-up, they decided to go with Woodley.
And in the other net, we have Chevelday, a draft pick from the Detroit Red Wings.
And he looks good. He's got 6 wins, 6 losses, and a tie-in. Also about 88% saves. I think we got a close one in the goaltending matchup tonight.
All right, the referee is Dennis LaRue. The linesmen are Shane Heyer and Brent Ashby. We go to ice level, and we're getting set for the start of the first period. Saskatoon wears blue uniforms with gold and white trim. New Westminster shooting left to right when we face it off. And they are in their familiar home white uniforms with their black and gold trim. And we're underway here in the first period as Saskatoon gets possession and puts it into New West territory. It's knocked down by Mark Kuntz. And he starts the first rush of the hockey game to Zankowski off his stick, intercepted by Dean Sexsmith. He was taken out of the play, loose in the center ice area. It's a delayed offside for the moment. Jay Moore does get it out. They jam it up on the boards on the far side, squirts loose, and it's Dean Sexsmith, just acquired from the Seattle Thunderbirds. Zankowski puts it into Saskatoon territory. Chevelday shovels it to the corner, his first touch of the puck. Sage on the boards with Rawson. They jam it up, and again it squirts loose, and it goes to Sexsmith, who's had the puck 3 separate times already in the first 40 seconds. His long pass goes off the skates of right winger Corey Koser, who is the cousin of Joey Koser from the Detroit Red Wings. Saskatoon, deep in their own zone, will start out once more. Pass goes off the skates of Tachuk. He gets it back to center ice. He's offside and over the line. As trapped inside was Corey Koser, as there was no chance of that play not being offside. And a good sizable crowd here at Queen's Park Arena for this first interlocking contest.
Twice in this first shift, the Saskatoon team was allowed to set up the breakout from behind their own net. And if they can do that, if the Bruins allow them to set up from behind the net, it's that much easier coming out of your zone. And twice Saskatoon has been able to do that. It's going to have to be important from the Bruins standpoint to get in and create some forechecking opportunities without allowing them to set up.
Mike Haas out there for New Westminster. Puck goes into Saskatoon territory, comes off the boards to Colin Bauer, ridden out by Haas. And they get possession, the Blades do, with Darren Bader at center ice, putting it into New West territory. Woodley still has not touched the puck for New West. Bader has the puck, centers it, intercepted. Here comes Hawes for New Westminster. 3 Bruins through center ice, but Hawes slaps it in. It goes off the ankle of Colin Bauer. It's loose on the boards. It comes back to Epoch. His shot, that hit a leg. Doesn't reach the net. Now it comes back into the neutral zone. No score, a minute and a half gone. First period, Paul Epoch gets it to Stenrath. High pass to Hawes, brought in over the line. And you hear number 16, Curtis Lecision, put on the brakes. As you get a good feel for how loud hockey can be with our microphones down at ice level. And there you hear a check on the boards. Lecision taken out. Puck loose, Epoch to the corner. He also is taken out. Some pretty good bumping here in the first couple of minutes. Big scrum for the puck. Comes back to Kelly Chase. His shot on goal, saved by Woodley, and the rebound stopped too, and a pile up in front of the net. And we have a little pushing and shoving. I don't think anything's going to come of that, but some good bumping in the first 2.5 minutes, Bill.
And again, I'm quite impressed with the way the Saskatoon team has managed to come out of their end. They've been back there. The puck's been in there, I think, about 4 times. They've come out of there 4 times with it. Get a look at number 18 on the ice, Sean LeBrun, the leading goal scorer for the New West Bruins. There he is over in the corner, but more impressively, or might say as impressively, Dan, is he leads the club in hits with 48 hits. And I'll tell you something, for your leading scorer to be also leading your club in hits, I think that's quite something. Look at that pile up in the corner there. Saskatoon player allowed to come out, and that is Woodley's first shot on net. Handles it easily.
We have minor penalties on the place. The teams are at 4 side. I think roughing and cross-checking. We'll have to pick up the announcement here, but the penalized Saskatoon Blade is Tracy Kotelnikov. In the New West penalty box will be Steve Jakes. We'll get those announcements in a moment as Donald Menard headmans a pass missing Stu Barnes. Chevelday, the goaltender, leaves it for Dean Poline, and he gets it up for number 21, Jason Christie. Small player, very popular, brings it in over the line. Offside at the blue line, unless the Bruins bring it out, and they do have a chance to get it out of their own zone, so play on, says the linesman. Teams with 1 man in the penalty box each, so there's a little bit extra ice room. The loose puck picked up by Barnes, tries to center it in front of the Saskatoon goal. Intercepted, play along the boards, and finally the Blades just get it out to center ice. Now brought back in by Sean LeBrun, offside, as number 14, Stu Barnes, in too soon as you look at Steve Jakes from the New Westminster Bruins defense.
And we know the kind of year he's had, and he incidentally does lead this hockey club in penalty minutes, but I don't think Steve would have it any other way. He likes to be up there. When he's getting involved physically, he's going to be getting some penalties, but he's also had some very nice offensive statistics as well.
Again, we didn't get the announcement. I think they're having a problem with their public address system here, but they were just minor penalties for cross-checking and roughing at the 2:13 mark. Donald Menard takes a shot that hit something on its way before flying high over top the net. Jason Moore's shot is on goal. Stu Sage, the captain of the Bruins, coming out of the corner. Sage had it knocked off his stick, and back come the Blades. But Sage, on a good job back-checking, took it off to Chuk's stick. Here comes Menard, now to Sage. Sage fakes it, pass in front, went off Menard's stick. Good play by Sage, but I think he even fooled Menard on his fake shot. Now a rush for Saskatoon, 2-on-1. In over the blue line comes Koser. Right in on goal, centering it. Oh, and it just went wide as Tkachuk had to handle a high pass, and unfortunate for Tkachuk, he's unable to get it on goal. Back comes Moores, the pace picks up, but it's offside at the blue line. Sage in too soon.
Sage got caught playing the point. He had to stay back at the blue line, Stuart Sage did, and he got caught pinching a little bit. Right there, you see 15, Stuart Sage. Now we've got actually a 3-on-1, but Jason Moore plays this about as well as you can. You watch him, he stays right in the middle, forces the pass, and that made the Saskatoon player have to force the pass above the Bruin defenseman's stick up in the air, and consequently missed it in the corner of the ring. I thought Jason Moore played that exceptionally well.
Breakaway, here comes Sexsmith, right in on goal, and shoots, and he's tripped up. Good save by Woodley. Might even be a penalty shot here. Let's see what happens. Nope, no penalty shot. They don't rule that Sexsmith was in too far by himself. In other words, didn't quite have a clear-cut pass to the net. That was very close to being a penalty shot.
You really thought so, Dan? I didn't. I thought that was no question it was a good play. But let's have a look at it again. You see, he's got to be home free, but really, again, a kind of penalty you probably don't mind taking. We didn't see that far enough back, Dan, to see exactly where the cross-up came as to what allowed that break, but nonetheless, it will be 4 skaters for Saskatoon against the 3 Bruins skaters.
Face off to the right of Woodley, and it's our first power play of the night for Saskatoon. And it's actually 4 against 3 for the next 5 seconds. And then the 2 penalized players off earlier for Saskatoon, Patelnikov and Jakes for New
the Bruins. Number 4, Steve Jakes, 2 minutes for cross-checking. The Saskatoon's number 18, Tracy Katelnikov, 2 minutes for roughing. Penalty to the Bruins, number 18, or rather number 8, Mark Kuntz, 2 minutes for tripping. The time, 4:08.
Okay, here we go with the Saskatoon power play. Butka puts it into New West territory. Moore missed it, as did Woodley behind the net. The Blades trying to get possession on their 5 against 4, and then they'll try to set it up. They tic-tac-toe it behind the net. Dean Sexsmith in the corner, plays it back to the blue line, gets it back again. Now back to Butka, shot on goal. That hit a skate in front, doesn't reach the net. The Blades get the rebound in the corner. Butka from the left point now with some room, plays it over the other side, gets it back again, puts it in front. Hit the leg, goes wide. Katelnikov gets it to Sexsmith, back to Butka, back to Sexsmith. Sexsmith takes a shot, stopped by Woodley. And the fans respond to Woodley making a save. Saskatoon from Butka, point, tip, rebound front, another shot. Woodley makes that save too. Good save by Woodley on the power play as Saskatoon applies good pressure.
One of the reasons I made this power play so far work so well is Kerry Clark, big number 15 blue, positions himself right in front of the net. Then it was a total mismatch. Paul Epoch couldn't handle him. He just roamed at will, screened at will, and it was really quite lucky that Ray Woodley was able to see the shot. I don't know if we'll catch it, but 15 blue in front of the net. He's done that all through this power play. He's all number 6 Epoch can handle, and I'll tell you, you can see why the Saskatoon power play is pretty good. They do work the puck around really well. It'll come back again. There's the shot, and in front again is young Kerry Clark looking for the rebound.
And as we come back to the action, the Blades score on their power play right from the face-off. Their first shot went wide, but it came off the inboards, and the Blades lead it 1-0 on the power play goal, which is scored by Grant Tkachuk.
I don't know if we'll get a chance to look at this, but it does come off the face-off. Saskatoon, Ray Woodley there just made the original save on this play stoppage. Look at the face-off right off the shot.
That shot went wide, and then Tkachuk.
And there it is, right there, number 19, Tkachuk there to bang it in.
So it'll be Tkachuk from Butka, and the time of the goal is 5:11 of the first period. There might be a second assist, probably.
Goal scored by number 19, Grant Tkachuk, assisted by number 7, Mike Butka. Time of the goal, 5:11.
So just the one assist. Tkachuk has 9 goals now on the campaign. 1-0 Saskatoon on an early power play goal. And a good power play it was. The Blades trying to come out of their own zone, intercepted. Here's a chance for Rennie. His shot goes wide of the net. Another shot from the other boards. Rennie again on the rebound, takes a shot. Shovelday makes the save. Rennie didn't get a good shot away on that, but he sure had a good chance. Now he's tied up in the corner. The puck does squirt loose. Controlled by Barnes. Now he gets it to LeBrun. LeBrun, his shot goes wide. Menard from the point, tipped. Doesn't reach the net. Barnes centering it, shot. Oh, and a good save by Shovelday as the Bruins apply pressure while forechecking. LeBrun digs it out of the corner. 3 Bruins in the corner, trying to get somebody in front, intercepted, and now shot out. 1-0 Saskatoon. Icing could be the call here, and it is as the faceoff goes back. The Bruins didn't get to center ice. Saskatoon leading 1-0.
Steve Rennie getting his first chance on the line with LeBrun and Barnes, Dan, and I'll tell you, he really had a chance. Number 21 White, Steve Rennie, had an opportunity. He got the puck in front of the net and just couldn't find the handle on it. But this is Barnes from behind. Look at him work at it. There's a good save by the goalkeeper, direct the puck in the corner. But just previous to that, Steve Rennie had the puck on a stick, just couldn't get the shot out.
From the faceoff chance in front, Woodley makes a save on the shot, which was taken by Drew Sawtell. Back to the blue line area. Twist shot. That goes wide. Race on the boards. Now here's Sage. 2-on-2 with Zankowski. Sage making moves. Can't get by the defense as Curtis Lecision made a good play to stand up Sage. The 2 number 20s battle for it. Sage comes out of the corner. Centering pass, scores! Scott Rawson. After great work from Stu Sage, it's a 1-1 tie.
Well, you called it. Stuart Sage really did all the work on this. He steals the puck from the Saskatoon player along the boards. This time gets it to Scott Rawson, who was in much the same position Rennie was a couple minutes earlier. He makes no mistake about it. This is a puck that's passed after Sage picked it up to Scott Rawson, 20 feet in front, puts it to the short side, stick side of the goalkeeper, and we got a 1-1 game. I don't know if this will show Sage come away right from the wall with the puck the way he does, and I said this before. Did you see him keep his feet moving? He had the puck on a stick along the boards. He kept his feet moving to get it away from traffic.
Here's the announcement coming
Bruins
up on the goal.
First goal scored by number 11, Scott Rawson.
His third.
Assisted by number 15, Stu Sage, and number 20, Cal Zamkowski. Time of the goal, 6:46.
There's a look at Marcel Como, the coach of the Saskatoon Blades. His 4th year in the Western League, his 3rd with the Blades organization, formerly coached in Calgary. And John Van Horlick on the other side.
Bruin power play here tonight, I think, is going to miss Darwin McPherson some.
14, Clayton Chappell.
Will pick up the
2 minutes
penalty.
for holding. The time, 6:55.
I didn't see that one. 6:55, a holding penalty, and Bruins on their first power play.
And as I said, I'm sure they're going to miss McPherson. The coach Van Horlick said they've had a fair amount of success with big number 1A, Sean LeBrun, firing a puck from the point, but they don't have the same power play. In fact, they're working in the teen percentage-wise on the power play, so it's not the same as the Saskatoon power play to this point.
This guy can skate with it. Jay Moore, first-round draft pick of the New York Rangers. In over the line. Moore for the Bruins. Stops in the corner. Waits for LeBrun or somebody else to get set at the point. That somebody else is Rawson. Now to LeBrun. LeBrun waiting. Now back to Rawson. Winds up. Takes a shot. And it tipped wide of the net. Might have hit Zankowski. Could have hit the Saskatoon player. Whole line. Sage from the corner. Back to LeBrun. Winds up and shoots. That went wide. Now the Blades will have a chance to get it out. Possible breakaway if a pass gets through, but it just misses, and it's now called a 2-line pass. Actually, it's just an offside pass as number 21, Jason Christie, preceded the puck in over the blue line. The faceoff originates back in the neutral zone.
The Bruins, without a set power play, they don't have a definite, determined 5 players that go out and work at it, and consequently they give up something. But I really think that a team gains from the team spirit, the team morale point, when you don't have a one-set power play. Boy, that gives a lot of guys a chance to get involved in it. And what you lose in the percentage of efficiency, I think you gain in team spirit.
Minute 18 left in Chappell's penalty. 12:20 left first period, 1-1 tie. Moore for the Bruins. Now brought in over the blue line by Scott Daniels. Drop back. Here's Spenrath on the backhand. Now to LeBrun. Winds up, shoots well wide. Comes off the boards to Moore over here at the point, and he cannot hold it in. Moore lost his concentration for a second there, and it got away from him. Paz brings it in over the line. Pass in front for Spenrath. He goes to the corner for it. Behind the net. Daniels. Back to the point. Jay Moore. Back for Daniels. Almost lost it. Moore gets it back. Winds up, shoots. Scores! Jason Moore on a power play, and Cheveldae won't like that one too much. The Bruins lead it 2-1.
When we see this one again, you're going to see some traffic in front of the net, and a youngster that we haven't seen on our telecast before, Scott Daniels, I think causes most of the problem from the screen point of view. In fact, he has shown some good offensive skills, a little bit we've seen him this period, but number 22 will end up right in front of the net, and I'll tell you something, he's in a perfect position to screen. There's no way the goalkeeper can see that. In fact, I'm not so sure Daniels may not have tipped that.
8:16, the time of the goal. We'll pick up the announcement in a moment. Maybe when we have another look at it, we'll also see if Moore was fortunate not to lose it initially to Tachuk, who could have went the other way on a breakaway. They say this game's a game of inches. Back the other way for the Blades. It's brought in over the line quickly by Sexton. Shot at goal, saved by
Second
Woodley.
goal scored by number 7, Jason Moore. Assisted by number 22, Scott Daniels, and number 26, Greg Spenrath. Time of the goal, 8:16.
2-1 New Westminster. It is Moore's goal, his 4th of the campaign. And Saskatoon may be called for icing here. Backcourt Jakes, he wins the race for the puck. And the faceoff will originate back in Saskatoon territory. It's a power play goal for New Westminster. And Both teams have one of those on the night.
We see an effort again by the coach of the Bruins to get all his people involved in the play. We'll get another look at the goal, Dan. Some good offensive work here, and you mentioned he was very lucky to maintain possession of the puck, but there's a shot from that angle. Looked like a pretty good job of screening. I got a feel that Cheveldae will make that save if he can see the puck with a shot from that far out.
Face off to the right. Both teams without a suspended player. We'll tell you about that in a moment. As they race, battle at least for the puck in the boards. Who's going to come up with it? It's LeBrun. Flips it towards Cheveldae. Fans ride him a bit, and he almost gives up the puck. In fact, he does. As LeBrun is Johnny on the spot to pounce on it. Kish in the corner with LeBrun. And now Lecision gets it out towards the blue line, and it's Darren Bader. Ridden out by Kish. Good job back-checking as Bader puts it into Bruin territory. Rennie lost it. Twist puts it into the corner. Jakes battling for the puck against Kachuk. Kachuk's had a strong first period for Saskatoon. And in fact, he'll be our first period intermission guest. We'll hear from him. In over the line, here comes LeBrun. Rennie's in front, hauled down by Twist ever so slightly. Play on, says the ref. Kachuk has the puck. Has trouble with it on the boards. Bruins trying to make a line change while this happens. They get two fresh skaters out, and that's why Saskatoon almost gets it out. Chance for Rawson, right in on goal. He's tripped up. Rebound stays. He can't get a shot away. Here comes a hooking penalty. The Bruins will go on a power play.
With one goal already tonight, Scott Rawson says, hey, I got a loose puck here. I'm going to head straight for the net. He picked it up and just had his feet moving right towards the goal, but he had to be hooked. Here he picks up the puck, and he's got one thing in mind, get it towards the net, get the shot, but hey, that's a good penalty.
Taken by number 3, Tony Twist, a kid from Sherwood Park, who is 19 years old.
And that kid, sorry, Dan, that boy right there hasn't got a goal in the league. 0 goals, and he's played this is his second year with the Saskatoon team.
So the Bruins set up their power play here. They have Rawson at center ice, Sage at left wing, Zankowski on right wing. The point men will be Jay Moore and Stu Barnes playing the right point. Sage now in to take the face-off after Barnes gets kicked out. He does win the draw, goes back to Moore. But again, he has trouble holding it in. And then the second time in this period, the routine pucks at the blue line have not been able to be held in by Moore. Sage brings it in over the line. Rawson coming out of the boards. Centering pass. Great save by Cheveldae as Zankowski was set up right in front of the net. Back for Saskatoon. It's brought in over the blue line by Kotelnikov in front of the net. Oh, and a fine save by Woodley on Christie. Back comes New Westminster. 4 of them through center ice. Barnes through Rawson. Somebody has a broken stick. Rawson. Centering pass. Shot. Wide. Jay Moore first times it. Sage. Now to Moore. Back to Sage. Shot in front of the net. Zankowski puts it wide. He had lots of time to shoot, but he couldn't get his backhand on the target. Sage cutting it on goal. Pass in front of the net. Zankowski now to Moore. Good pressure. Back for Sage. Sage on his knees. What will he do? He passes it back to Moore.
What a job Sage did of getting back to the point to keep the puck in just prior to that.
Here's Moore cutting in. Right in on goal. Moore right in. Oh, and Cheveldae held it high. I didn't know how far he was going to go in. Trying to go up where the Zamboni is. Back comes Saskatoon and over the line. This is Chase. Woodley wraps it behind the net. Good pace to this period. 2-1 New Westminster. Good chances at both ends. Bruins on a power play for another 25 seconds. Changing up as the play goes on. Colin Bauer ices it. Back forward is Jake. Maybe time for one more rush with the man advantage. Here's Haas. Shoots it in. Giving chase is Daniels and Spenrath. Spenrath first to hit a Saskatoon player. Comes back towards Epoch at the point. It goes to Colin Bauer for Saskatoon. He can't get it out. That broken stick still in play right now. And now it's shot out. Could be icing here. Back for Jakes. It was 7 minutes and 50 6 seconds left in the first period. New Westminster leading 2-1. The face-off will originate back in Saskatoon territory.
With that kind of power play pressure, you're going to see this Bruin team with a lot more goals than 17 in their last 89 opportunities going into this hockey game. That's good offensive pressure. But as I said at the time, my goodness, Stuart Sage is in the corner first. He's in front of the net. He's back at the point, backing things up. And really, the whole works of them, no matter who this club seems to send out on a power play tonight to this point, is very, very effective.
Both teams without a suspended player. Pat Bingham serving the last of a 4-game suspension for a spearing incident, which happened during our last telecast. That took place against the Portland Winterhawks. And Kevin Kaminsky is out indefinitely with the suspension as he cross-checked a Regina player in the Blades' last home game prior to this Western road trip. Woodley has the puck, leaves it for Epoch, wrapped in on the boards by Tkachuk. I don't know what you think about Tkachuk's play in the first period, but he looks very effective for Saskatoon. Full line. Now the Blades come out of their own zone. Hooked up a bit is Corey Koser. And now a penalty is going to be called on Scott Daniels for elbowing. And that's a good call by the referee, no question about that. Koser was being bothered all the way up the ice, and the Blades bench was yelling for a penalty. They finally got it on Daniels' elbow at Koser's head here at the 12:37 mark.
You mentioned Grant Tkachuk tonight. There it is over there. We'll pick up the penalty. You watch number 22 White come in. Scott Daniels with the hit, the high hit. Good call along the boards. And we've said before that this Daniels is a good hockey player along the wall. He loves the boards and does play well.
So the Blades, who were very effective on their first power play, go on another one tonight. 1-for-1 with the man advantage. Let's see if they have as much success this time around. Jay Moore wraps it around the boards. LeBrun has it, gets it out. The penalty killing for the Bruins this year has been very impressive as well. Hands-on goaltender Chevelday as they get on all opposing goalies here at that north end. To center ice. Saskatoon player Clark upended. Fans get a charge out of that. Play on, says the ref. Clark gets back up again, chases a loose puck. Moore gets to it first. Moore has room to backhand it down the ice, at least to the blue line. And now it's controlled by LeBrun, who goes back deep in his own zone and plays it back to Moore. This time he wraps it down the right boards, unable to get it all the way down the ice. The Blades power play, not only good at setting up, but they're good at preventing the icing. There's a shot on goal. Woodley makes the save. He holds on, taking no chances with Kerry Clark, the younger brother of Wendell Clark, skating in to look for any kind of a loose rebound.
Ray Woodley looks very sharp. He hasn't really been tested too much, but he does look sharp. He's moving out well to block the shots, but through the first minute or 53 seconds of this Saskatoon power play, the Bruins have not allowed the Saskatoon team in to set up at all. And that's what gave them all kinds of trouble on the first Saskatoon power play.
They set it up again on the point. Here's Pauline, takes a shot. Good save by Woodley. The rebound gobbled up by Chappell. There's a shot, doesn't reach the net. Now Sage has it for New Westminster. Lost it behind the goal, tries to get it back once more. Sage gets it down the ice. This time we'd like to welcome the viewers in Saskatoon watching tonight, hoping you're enjoying your Blades on the road. Now we have a fight back in New West territory. Jakes going at it with Kelly Chase. Steve Jakes for New Westminster and Kelly Chase exchanging punches.
It started well behind the play. The play must have been 80 feet from where these two guys are before they decided that they were going to start throwing, and then really not much is happening at this point.
But they're covering a lot of territory doing it.
It's quite a dance. Kelly Chase, 285 penalty minutes last year with the Saskatoon team, hails from Porcupine Plains, Saskatchewan.
Where's that?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to get my map out for that one. All the trips I've made from here to Winnipeg through Saskatchewan, I've never even run into that place, but I've seen a lot of them. But a kid with great heart. Tell you, not too much wrong with the engine of Steve Jakes either. He's got a heart and a half. He'll take on anybody.
Well, the time of this outbreak is 13:53, and they sent, or if you pardon me, they chased Kelly Chase to his dressing room. I don't know why, if he's getting an extra out of this. Perhaps the instigator, and they'll get 7 minutes. And with 6:07 left in the period, that's not a bad idea, but we'll wait to see how the referee, Dennis LaRue, handles this one. 2-1, New Westminster leads it after Saskatoon opened the scoring on a goal by Tachuk. They've come back with New Westminster goals by Rawson and by Jay Moore.
Scott Daniels in the penalty box, one of the players the Bruins acquired from Kamloops in the Mulvena Premac deal a couple years ago, played his minor hockey at Notre Dame, and how many good hockey players have come out of that institution in Saskatchewan. They've just played a ton of them. He also plays football and plays it well.
A bit of a delay here as they sort things out. I think we're ready to go. All the players at the benches, and that includes Saskatoon's and New Westminster, as you look at the crowd here, are all standing at the bench.
The penalties to the Bruins, number 4 is Steve Jakes, and Saskatoon's number 22, Kelly Chase. 2 minutes each for high sticking and 5 minutes each for fighting.
So they get 7 minutes
each. 13:53.
Saskatoon still on a power play, 5 against 4 here. Here's a chance from the blue line, that not held in there by Lecision. Moore now for New West, knocks it off the boards and down the ice into Saskatoon territory, and Lecision goes back for it. He touches it. Icing is called, but they're on a power play, are they not? Yeah, for another 12 seconds. Well, they'll have to face this one off at, I guess, center ice. So the linesman had a bit of a mix-up there. So when in doubt, face it off in the middle.
You got to feel like about 2 cents and look for the first place you can crawl out of the rink when you're a linesman, and you blow that whistle to stop play on icing when one of the teams is on the man advantage. But you're right, you face it off at center, the fairest place you can, and the Bruins pick up control of the puck.
And they put it right back where it was in the first place.
Linesman feels much better right now.
And the linesman is human. Both of them. Which is nice to know. Drew Sautel comes out of his own zone. Just the remaining moments of the power play, and now the Bruins are back at full strength. Still 2-1 with 5.5 minutes remaining in the first period. Dan Russell with Bill Wilms, our producer Paul Bertel from Western 4 Sports at Queen's Park Arena in New Westminster. Battle for the puck. We wait for a whistle. Do we get one? Nope. Squirts loose. A little bit like a rugby scrum there. They'll do it again in the corner. And finally ends up out of play. I got a feeling, though, Bill, with these two teams, we're going to see a lot of play along the boards tonight.
Both aggressive along the boards and both playing well along the boards, too, I might add. If the name Drew Sautel kind of rings a bell with anybody out here for the Saskatoon team, he did play 8 games with the Bruins last year. This is his real first full year in the league. He was acquired by the Blades in the Mark Horlick trade, who now skates for the New West team. Kid with a little bit of suspect skating, maybe struggling a bit in the Western Hockey League right now.
Epoch shot from the point is knocked down by Kotelnikov. Loose puck. Menard knocks it off the boards. It's still loose. And now for New Westminster, Barnes. Chases it to the corner. Cutaway, number 4, out there for Saskatoon for seemingly a rare shift here in the first period. Gets it out nicely, and it's brought out by Kotelnikov. Kotelnikov in on Epoch. Puck loose to the corner. Jamming it up. Again, we cut it off in the corner and see a lot of board action, and finally they do jam it up to stop the play. Not dressed for Saskatoon tonight. We mentioned Kevin Kaminsky out with an indefinite suspension, and he might be their most talented player. Dwight Mullins is out 3 more weeks with a knee injury, and Jack Bokus, if that name rings a bell to you, Bokus was part of the Vancouver Canucks training camp roster this year. Bokus out with a knee injury, suffered just before they left on the Western trip. He's made the trip, but not dressed tonight. From the face-off, goes right to Woodley, holds on, waits for a whistle, looks at the ref, says, "You're going to blow it?" And he said, "Yeah, I will." And they'll do it all over again. In our first intermission, Grant Tachuk, who scored the lone Saskatoon goal. We'll talk to him about the first period and also about his play. He's a draft pick of the Buffalo Sabres a couple of years back.
One of the few kids that played senior hockey at 15 years of age.
Rawson had knocked off his stick. He has no relation to Walter Tachuk. Sage takes a shot right on. Chevelday turning that to the corner. Puck loose in front. Rawson pesky in front of the goal against Twist. Oh, and he sticks a bit at him. And Twist is going to get the penalty for retaliating, but I'll tell you right now, Rawson was the first one with the stick, and he's going to get away with it. We back up the replay long enough, you'll see. And where often the retaliation is the one call.
And that's what happened, but if you back this up far enough, too, believe me, you're going to see a very active line. These three guys for the Bruins work this puck around very, very well. I think Zankowski comes away from the boards with it with just an outstanding pass to the front of the net. They lose the puck and they're back on the attack. Very aggressive, very high work ethic for this line that's out here. But you're right, a retaliatory penalty, and I wouldn't be surprised to see 4 and 2 on this one.
Well, or he might just even it up, knowing that perhaps it was retaliatory, and it seems maybe he might just give Rawson roughing and Twist slashing. Rawson went right back at him, but we'll see how the referee, Dennis LaRue, hands this one out. But he has put 2 and 2 up on the clock, so looks like he is just going to even them off. Pretty good call, I would think.
It was a good call. If I guess Rawson there, he didn't have eyes in the back of his head. He couldn't see the referee's arm up for the delayed penalty, and he took things into his own hands and says, I'll get back and get even and settle this thing myself. But unfortunately, the referee had called a delayed penalty on the Saskatoon team. Anyway, it's 5 on 5.
Saskatoon penalty to number 3, Tony Twist. 2 minutes for slashing and 2 minutes for roughing.
Not so much
Bruin penalty to number 11, Scott Rawson. 2 minutes for roughing. The time, 16:03.
They did end up putting 4 up on the board, but when we checked a moment ago, there was just 2 up. Now they have put 4 up. So we had to cover both ways. Puck loose to the corner. Moore battling against Paul and Bauer. Zankowski on the board, centering it. Bruins on a power play in a few minutes, or in a couple minutes. Right now it's 4 on 4s. It's brought in over the line by Tkachuk. Walking in on goal, centering it. And Woodley poke-checked it away as Sexsmith almost got a loose puck in front.
What a job of back-checking by Jason Moore. I don't know if we'll see that again, but he loves to go deep, went deep in, and you should have seen him come back to make sure that the pass didn't go across the ice.
Well, I'm sure we'll get a look at it again. It was a dangerous opportunity for Saskatoon as the icing brings this puck back. But Tkachuk again making something happen for the Saskatoon Blades team here in the first period.
And again, the problem was Stuart Sage getting caught back in the defenseman's role with Jason Moore going deep, and he just got beat. It was a 2-on-1. Here, now that's Jason Moore in the corner of the rink. Sage gets caught. Watch the 2-on-1 develop up the ice, and you'll see a great job of back checking. Here's where Sage gets beat. Now look at the number 7 come back. He's got one thing in mind, and that is to get the open man. He's headed for 20 on the right side of your screen. Look at that back check. Knocks the puck right off into the corner.
As we bring it back to the live action, it is picked up in the center ice area by Corey Koser, skating with it. Killing some time on the clock, now dumped up, and he draws a penalty. Paul Epoch tripping up Corey Koser. Maybe a bit of a borderline call, but I still think not a bad call here at the 17:24 mark.
I think it's just a case of a defenseman who isn't used to making a stand-up hit, center ice hit, trying to, and consequently watch what happens. This is not the way you move in and play a man head on. You end up taking a trip on the play. You want to make sure you get your chest up into him and knock him flying, but I don't think Paul Epoch is really Epoch is known as much of a defensive hitter. Certainly he's got great offensive skills, and we've said before he's been the most valuable player at every minor level he's played. I think he just got caught trying to make a check and ended up tripping.
It's still 4-on-4 hockey here. Butka has the puck at the point. Butka puts it back to the corner. It's Kotelnikov back for Butka off his stick and out to center ice. Puck loose to the corner. The Bruins are short-handed here. Puck in behind the goal. It's underneath the blade player. They jam it up. It will squirt loose, so they do play on. It's 4-8-3. The Blades putting on some pressure here. Kotelnikov back to Butka, back to Kotelnikov. They tic-tac-toe it back and forth. Moore intercepted Kotelnikov's pass in front of the net. Kotelnikov centering pass. Another pass in front. Backhand shot. Woodley makes a good save. Cruising through the crease was Jason Christie. And when he first touched the puck, Bill, he was wide open on the side, but he had it in his skates. Did a good play anyway.
I think it was an outstanding pass by Curtis Lecision from the right point. It'll end up back here on the right side point man, and I'm sure that that is not a shot that he's going to fire across, but a pass. They work it around pretty well. It's a Bruin coming back on the ice right about now. His penalty's over. He heads for the front of the net. Now this pass coming up right here, right to the front, off his skate. If he'd have taken that a little bit further, he might have had the whole net to shoot it at. Again, Ray Woodley sharp to make the save.
Bruins win this face-off. There's less than 2 minutes remaining in the first period with 3 goals in about 3.5 minutes span, but those are the only goals. 2-1 for New Westminster. Moore has it. Back to 4-on-4 hockey here for the time being. Sage had it for a moment while forechecking. Colin Bauer got it out. Moore is logging a lot of ice time, as is Sage. Pass it back to each other, and Sage puts it into Saskatoon territory. Tim Chevelday leaves it at the side of the goal. Here's Tkachuk starting out. Tkachuk skating quickly through center ice, in over the line, over to Sexsmith. His shot is stopped by Woodley, and again, Woodley continues to be in total control in the goal. Colin Bauer intercepting a pass. Now to Sexsmith. Centering pass. Oh, and just either went wide or it hit Woodley. But a good tic-tac-toe pass in front of the net and a fine scoring opportunity for Saskatoon. Now we're in the final minute. Moore in over the line. Holding the puck, drawing some blades to him. Now he gets the puck over the far side. LeBrun having trouble in his skates. Sean LeBrun plays it back to the point. Coos put it to the corner. Bruins on a power play now. Behind the net, full line. Goes down the ice as they ice the puck while shorthanded. 23 seconds left in the period. Kuntz, now to LeBrun. Now to Rennie. Now in front of the goal, intercepted by Butka. Can't get it out. 14 seconds left in the period. Donald Menard gets it to Sean LeBrun. Back to Menard. Holding it. 8 seconds. Here's a shot. Chevelday makes a save. Loose to the corner. 4 seconds left in the period. One chance, maybe. Buzzer will sound. Period is over. And a fine first period here at Queen's Park Arena. With chances for both teams. And we saw some great offensive skill and some pretty good bumping around the boards. And I think fine first period for the fans here at Queen's Park Arena who watched the Bruins jump into an early 2-1 lead.
I don't like to say or use the term, Dan, exactly right, but you are exactly right. That's what happened. There was some good offensive skills mixed with some real good hard-nosed hockey. And I think one of the more outstanding features of that period was the lack of the fighting that we've seen in this building so much lately. There's been some problems from that standpoint. I think both teams went out and played very good hockey all through the first period. We had the one scrap. It was a minor one. They got it over with in a hurry.
We'll pick up the shots here in a moment. It's tough to say who had a territorial edge, perhaps slightly in favor of New Westminster, but if it was indeed very slightly because both
shots on goal in the first period
here.
By Saskatoon 15, by the Bruins 13.
Well, that pretty much indicates the type of play. And both goalies played, especially Woodley, played very well in the first period.
Well, he's quick as a cat. Boy, he's moving. He made some outstanding moves out there. Even when he didn't have to come up with the exact save, he was in position. It looked like a couple times Saskatoon missed or fanned on a shot or the puck went wide, but he was there ready to make that save. He's quick, and the kid in the other end, Chevelday, looks very good as well, and has 28 shots indicate with only 3 goals scored. Both goaltenders, I'm sure, going around 90% saves, and that's what you look for.
All right, we're going to talk with Grant Tkachuk in just a moment from the Saskatoon Blades, but while we have a second, Bill, any surprises in the West Division? Are you surprised the way the standings are right now?
I'm a little surprised at the Seattle team, then. I thought I personally picked them a little bit higher, but they've really gone for a nosedive. I think they've only got 2 wins in their first about 15 games, and Spokane, who I thought would be a little lower, has kind of moved in there. Yeah, so that would be the surprise at this point, but I understand they've made a couple changes. I don't think it's got to the coaching end of it yet in Seattle, but they got some problems.
Well, I'll tell you, right now when you look at the standings, and we'll show them to you later in the telecast, but just briefly, New West and Kamloops is starting to pull away from the pack. It looks like those 2 teams will battle for top spot at this point anyway.
And that is good. You hate to see one team pull away, and or the 4 teams pull away from the pack. But there's always going to be some gaps in the standings. But as long as this New West team is in a battle for first place all year long, that's going to be good for the game of hockey in New Westminster, because you'll get people to come out and watch.
Well, they've done an excellent job, and we have to give credit to John Van Horlick and General Manager John Alver. I think they've done a super job, but as John Van Horlick said off the top, it's still November. All right, Bill, we'll look at your highlights in just a few minutes. We want to welcome to our telecast right now from the Saskatoon Blades, the player I thought who had maybe the best period for Saskatoon out there in the first was Grant Tkachuk. Grant, thank you very much for joining us. Your thoughts, please, on the first period.
This is the first time we saw New West this year, and we heard they were a big, strong, bumping team, and they came out and proved that, and we play the same way as New West. We're a bumping team.
They remind you of yourselves, I guess.
Yeah, they do. They're a good, strong team, and the way we play in the East is a bumping game, and that's what makes us famous. It seems like that's what makes New West famous, too.
All right, you had the goal in the first period. Maybe you can describe it for us.
Well, we were in there, and we got the draw, and it came to our defenseman, and the puck, our defenseman shot the puck, and it went behind the net, came out into the slot, and I just stuffed it, and there was no one in the net.
Do you work a lot on your power play? You look very efficient out there.
Yeah, Marcel works as hard in every aspect, power play, penalty kicking, whatever shift, He's a really tough coach, and makes us click, and we do work pretty hard in our power play.
This is your 4th year in the league. Are you glad interlocking hockey is back?
Yeah, I played here my first year, and my second year I missed a trip because of a shoulder injury, and last year we didn't play at all. It's nice to come out here and play against the other guys, like Rob Brown. He never got to play against last year, so he's not here this year, but it's nice to get back again.
You had 82 points last year. I know you were happy with that. What kind of team do you have this year? Do you have a team that can compete just as well?
Oh yeah, our team is basically the same as last year. A lot of hard workers. There's no one all-star. The team wins as a team, and there's no one that stands out. We're a hard-working team, and that's what we have to do to win.
The Buffalo Sabres drafted you in the 9th round. What is your status right now with Buffalo?
Oh well, I went down there and I came back. They told me to have a good season, same as last year, and just to play the same way that got me drafted. So that's what I'm doing.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm a hard-working player, grinding on the boards, and that's what I do, and whatever goals I can get is a bonus for me.
And that's, I think, what Buffalo would be looking for. You had 82 points last year, but I think you do pride yourself also on your defensive play and your penalty killing as well.
Yeah, last year I led the goals in shorthanded, and right now I think I'm tied for the shorthanded goals, so things like that, that's what makes me famous, that's what got me drafted here, and my hard work along the boards. I'm not really a big guy, so I got to make up with my strength, and that's what helps you along the boards is quite a bit.
All right, final question before we let you go and get back in your dressing room with your teammates. What do you expect the final 40 minutes?
I expect for us to come out harder, we're always a hard-checking team. I expect New West to come out harder, It's going to be a good game, hard-checking game, and I don't know if the people down here see that quite a bit, but they'll sure get their fill tonight.
Grant, congratulations on your play in the league throughout the 4 years. We wish you best of luck tonight and to the Saskatoon Blades for the rest of the year. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks a lot.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Grant Tkachuk from the Saskatoon Blades has joined us. Stand by. We have the highlights of the first period and a summary, and then our second period coming right up. You're watching Major Junior Hockey on Western 4 Sports. Open up the scoring, and then the New Westminster Bruins scored. The scoring, our intermission guest, Grant Tkachuk had the first goal at 5:11, and just about a minute and a half later at 6:46, Scott Rawson from Stu Sage and Kel Zankowski, and then 2 minutes after that, or just less than that, about a minute and a half after that one, Jay Moore blasted one in on a power play at 8:16. The shots on goal were 15-13 in favor of Saskatoon.
Stu Barnes has taken the majority of faceoffs in the league this year for the Bruins. He's won 187 of them, but he loses this one right here. And really, I think the Bruins play it very, very well. Steve Jakes takes a dive for the wide man. You watch him lose it. One of the few faceoffs he loses. Now, number 19, Tkachuk, ends up going wide. For some reason, he darts wide of the net, decides, and ends up being in exactly the right place to pick that shot off the end boards, because Steve Jakes made a heck of an effort to dive out and knock the puck away from him. But it almost looked like Tkachuk looked exactly where he was going, and that was wide of the net. Usually you go towards it.
That was a power play goal, and it came after some good power play pressure, but that then resulted in a face-off, and they score from the face-off.
Exactly.
U.S. then tied it up.
And really, you watch the line go to work here. This is some good effort on the part of the Bruin players. Number 15 right there knocks it out of the air with a stick. Now, Sage keeps his feet moving. We said that so often. Gets the puck to Rawson, and Rawson puts it in. Now, we'd like to show you that one more time because the significance of checking. Number 12 blue, Drew Sawtell, is there. He's in the area. Keep your eyes on 12 blue now, Dan, because he thinks he's got Rawson covered. You just can't be there. You got to get his stick off the ice. Look, he allows Rawson 11 to keep his blade on the ice and put the puck over top of the goalie. And it's so important that when you're going to be checking somebody, get his stick off the ice, interfere with his stick, don't let him shoot the puck.
Was Jay Moore both good and lucky on his goal?
Well, he ends up setting the puck up very, very well here to his forehand. He's on the far left, but some good work by Daniel. Back to the point here. Now, look, he picks it up, turns around, gets a little bit of a lucky bounce, but gets it on his forehand. And again, I think that puck is screened. I think Scott Daniels in good position there to screen a really good goalkeeper who I think might have made that save had he not had some traffic in front of him.
Will we have more of the same in the final 40 minutes?
I tell you, this is a very offensive game out here tonight. There's a lot of scoring opportunities, as witnessed the 28 shots on the net, and I think that team in blue right there has showed us some very good offense, and I think they're going to keep coming at this Bruin team.
The attempted shots at goal were 25-20 in the first period for Saskatoon. The Bruins, though, won 18 of the 26 faceoffs. As we start the second period, the teams are at full strength, although there are players in the penalty box serving the remaining part of a 7-minute penalty. Bruins shooting right to left. Daniels ices the puck. In fact, not only ices it, he launches it right out of here from his own blue line. He put it into the seats behind the Saskatoon goal, so the face-off will originate back in the neutral zone. And there's the spectators who got the puck at the far corner here at Queen's Park Arena. And although you see some empty seats down there in the corner, it's pretty full in the middle part tonight. I would say close to 2,000, 2,200 maybe. Well, 2,000 I'd say here.
They were hoping for 2,000 tonight, and I think they might have just got it.
Saskatoon having to go back for the puck, and again it's out of play, so twice we lose pucks here in the first 25 seconds. And that gives us a chance to remind you that the program that you are watching is copyright and is intended solely for the non-commercial use of our audience. Any retransmission in whole or in part without the express written consent of Western 4 Sports is prohibited.
You mean I can't do it?
No, not at home. 5, maybe at home. Back in his own zone for New Westminster is Kuntz. Now to Haas. Back for Spinrath. Can't get it. Back the other way for Saskatoon. Sutcliffe. Shot taken by Sexsmith wide. Penrith intercepted. Sutcliffe pass in front off the skates of Tachuk. Haas takes a big grab on him, but the referee allows that to happen. And now Kuntz gets it out. Daniels, long right wing pass collected by Haas. Centering pass, Penrath misses a wide open net. Gets another chance, shoots it. Now we have a fight near the blue line. They drop their gloves. There goes the lids. It's a slow developing fight. Now we got some shadow boxing. Tony Twist and Scott Daniels. What is this? Oh, oh, we actually get a punch. And a few more. And now a lot more. And now a flurry of them, mostly by Twist. And here comes Daniels. They're wailing at each other.
Wow, it took a long time to start, but it was worth waiting for.
And the fans agree. So do both benches. I don't know who won that one.
Well, Twist had the early round. I give Daniels the second half of that fight. Really slow to get started. They really sized it up. But I'll tell you something, they didn't leave any punches at home.
I thought they wanted the tail of the tape.
Here's a chance that Spenrath had. You know, again, not a real big goal scorer. Gets two chances, actually. Gets a backhand. Now, by this time, the combatants are ready to take center stage, and away they went.
59 seconds, the time of the penalty. They shadow boxed there for about 20 seconds. They were very slow and deliberate. It was like, okay, we're going to fight, so let's drop off our gloves. That was done first. Then they said, well, we better take off our lids. So they popped the helmets off. Then they stood at each other, sized each other out. It was like they were posing for a boxing picture. And then they went at it. It was pretty scrappy. And Scott Daniels can't throw them. And Tony Twist is a big, tough guy, too. Twist is coming off an elbow injury, but he certainly threw all elbows there. So we wait for the referee to sort this one out. Might be just majors, not sure how they're going to handle this one. First time in 2 years we've had interlocking play here at Queen's Park Arena. They brought it back after a year's absence. We're going to look at the fight again, at least the start of it, and maybe we could watch the end of it too, because it was worth waiting for.
I think even the purists, Dan, would say, if this is the fighting that occurs in hockey, let it be. Nobody really, there were no sticks involved, there was no melee. Watch this.
Now put music to this if we can.
He takes all kinds of time to get his helmet off, and believe me, it was just about that slow.
All right, we'll wait for the announcement on the penalties. Meantime, Barnes puts it in front of the net. LeBrun just misses it in front.
Penalties to the Bruins, number 22, Scott Daniels, and Saskatoon's number 3, Tony Twist. 5 minutes each for fighting. Time of the penalties, 59 seconds.
LeBrun having to go behind his back for the pass. Ends up on the corner board to Telnikov. There's a hit at center ice. Epoch leaning into Jason Christie. Looked like it was going to even be worse than it actually turned out. Bruins ice the puck. Play on, says the linesman. They rule the Blades could have touched it. Back forward is Pauline. Pass up the middle for Corey Koser. Drop pass. Here's a chance in front. Oh, it just went wide of the net. Who was that who took that shot? Was that Katelnikov? Yes. Butka's shot from the point ends up in the seats. Katelnikov, Koser, and Christie, and that's hard to say, I'll tell you. That law firm almost combined for a beautiful goal in front of the net, and here's the replay.
This line's played well for Saskatoon. There's a lot of hitting, but boy, there's a lot of good offensive play just like that. Again, Woodley, though, I got to feel was in such good position that had that puck been directed on the net, it wouldn't have gone in. He's just finding himself in perfect position on almost every shot.
Stankowski on the boards, gets it to Rawson. Hitman pass for Sage by himself through center ice in on Butka. Sage making moves, takes a shot, and a save made by Cheveldae, and he keeps the puck in play. Good play by Sage. He continues to impress, and he gets better, it seems, every night. Battle for the puck on the boards. Held in at the line by the Bruins. Rawson in front for Sage. Reaches, leaves it. Stankowski in, shoots. Cheveldae save, rebound. In front of the goal. Comes back to Menard. Winds up, shoots. Doesn't reach the net. Butka intercepts and back on the Blades. 2-1 New Westminster early in the second. In over the line to Cutaway. He puts it in. Bader puts it in offside. That one has looked intentional. If that's not an intentional offside, I don't know what is. But the linesman says, no, we're going to keep the face-off in the neutral zone nearest to the Bruin blue. Saskatoon Blades come into this game with a record of 2-5-1 on the road. They're 6-1 at home. The Bruins' home record is 5-2, but away they've only lost one of their 7 road starts. Excellent start for the New West Bruins this year. Here's the Blades through center ice with Sexsmith. Here's that bump. That's Koser and Jakes rattling on the inboards. Spenrath. Now at center ice, flips it into Saskatoon territory. Good action at both ends of the ice. And here we're going the other way. It's Sexsmith waiting for Koser behind the back pass. Koser now grabs it, puts it behind the net, comes off the boards at a Bruin bounce. Pause. 3 Bruins with Kish. Spenrath on the left. Kish taken out of the play effectively by Colin Bauer. And back comes Sexsmith. He's been prominent tonight. He's just picked up a couple games ago. Sexsmith hit by Jakes. Epoch has the puck for New Westminster. 3.5 minutes gone. Second period, 2-1 New West. Cheveldae, the goalie for Saskatoon, leaves it for Dean Holline. Long pass picked up there by Christie. Right in on goal. Woodley makes another good save as Christie found the puck alone in front. Puck loose. Christie winds up, shoots it wide. Boy, he was all alone at the corner and just took a slap shot. Blades doing some forechecking. Again, it's Christie. Lost the puck. Gets it back again. Still loose. A little scrambly. Bruins tripped up Rennie. Play on, says the ref. Looked like he lost his balance more than he was tripped. More forechecking by the Blades. Finally, Jay Moore will have room to lug it out. Now we'll see if the Bruins get some forechecking. Moore flips it in. Butka lost it. Here's Rennie. Behind the net, it goes to Barnes. Well, runs in front. Barnes plays it to the blue line. They're changing up, so Jakes wasn't in his position at the right point. It's put in offside. But the Bruins still delayed. Oh, is this icing or what? Wait and see. No whistle. It was something delayed. It was an icing that was in delay, but the Bruins touched the puck first. And not only that, they come out of the corner with the puck hurt blade on the ice in the corner. Batted out of the air. Knocked down with a high stick. There's a hurt Saskatoon player in the corner, Bill, but I didn't really see exactly what happened to, I think it's, is it Suck? No, it's not Sutcliffe, it's Butka.
It was Barnes in that corner. There was some good work being done by the Bruins forechecking, and right where the injured Saskatoon player is, it was Barnes came out of there with the puck. I don't know how he got hurt. It looks like a leg they're attending to, but there's a lot of heavy traffic in that corner of the rink. We might have a look here. There's the Barnes hit in the corner, and one of the Bruins goes down. Oh, there it is. Pretty good check, and I guess that's the injured player right there, Butka, going down, and they can ill afford to lose him for any length of time. He's one of their more seasoned players, playing his 4th year in the league, and he's been the key to their power play most of the night.
And if we're going to look at a chance here, that's Christie with the puck for Saskatoon as he stole it.
Well, he actually started out right at the Bruin blue line. He caught the Bruins on a line change, which you see so much happening this year in the National Hockey League. Teams are capitalizing on line changes, and that's exactly what young Jason Christie rather did on that play. He got the long pass and ended up stealing it from the Bruin player and going in trying to get the goal, but
there's Butka coming off the ice. Now Saskatoon has won 8 games this year. Butka has 4 of their game-winning goals. Well, you've been watching tonight Wendell Clark's brother, and his name is Kerry Clark. We're going to get comment from him in just a moment when we get an opportunity as they get set to face off again. Puck goes down the ice, back into Bruin territory. Jake's back for it first. There is no icing here. Puck loose in the corner. Goes back towards Tkachuk. Shot was wide. Behind the net, trying to center at the blades. Lucian puts it behind the net. Chance in front for Tkachuk. He put it wide, and he probably is upset at himself there. He had a good chance in front of the goal. Puck ends up off the board. Still onside at the blue line. More battle for the puck. Coming out of the corners, Lucian puts it towards the Bruin net. Now the Bruins will come out. Here's Rawson. Now to Zankowski. Back for Rawson offside at the blue line. Yeah, we're seeing Kerry Clark in this hockey game tonight, and of course Wendell Clark, #1 draft pick a couple years ago. We asked him prior to tonight's game if he patterns his game after older brother Wendell.
Well, Wendell and I are kind of 2 different hockey players. He's more of a finesse hockey player, and I'm bump and grind and up and down the boards. He handles the puck a lot better than I do, and I just dump it in and chase it and try to get in front of the net and see what happens after that.
Well, there's no question, and this is not a slight at Kerry Clark, but when we saw Wendell Clark play here 2 years ago, I think you knew after about a minute and a half that he was NHL bound.
I've never seen a player before or since do the things Wendell did on the ice for the Saskatoon team that night. He was just a bullhorse. He went through, around, over guys, but he got the job done.
Kerry Clark taken on the play there by Moore. The Blades like Kerry Clark, and he's a New York Islander draft, so he figures to make an NHL career as well if he continues to work hard. Moore in the corner. The 2 number 12s battling for it there, Hawes and Sautel. The Blades get the puck. Comes out here to Epoch. Now to Kish. 6.5 minutes gone. Second period. 2-1 Bruins. Around the boards it goes. Intercepted by New West. Spenrath from the steep slot. His shot goes wide. Rebound off the lively boards. Swept to the corner. Controlled by Colin Bauer. And they tied up in the boards to stop the play.
Couple Saskatoon Blades guilty of giveaways right on that shift. They had possession of the puck, tried to tip it out right onto a Bruin stick, enabled the New West team to continue and maintain the pressure that they are so able to exert on the other teams when they forecheck this year.
There's our coach, Marcel Como. Very quiet person when you talk to him, and there's John Van Horlick, but very instructional at the Saskatoon bench. That's standing right on top of it and takes a very active part. John Van Horlick, very composed coach for New Westminster. And certainly the kind of game he thought prior to the game, very close and lots of bumping. Steve Jakes almost has it knocked off his stick. Does a good job to get out to center ice. Ray Woodley leaves it for Donald Menard. They almost have a cross up there, but Jakes does get a chance to move it. And it's out here to center ice where Barnes tried to get possession of it. Intercepted, shot back in by Saskatoon, and knocked right back out again. For the first time tonight, it's slightly ragged. Barnes. High stick right in front of the bench. No doubt about that. Not only that, right in front of the referee. And I think you'll get a real close look at it on our replay here in a second. But that's exactly where you don't want the sticks. And maybe some of the critics of junior hockey who say you get that shield on, you draw the stick up a little higher. When you played junior hockey, Bill, without the helmet, the stick very seldom went as high as the Saskatoon player, number 22, Kelly Chase, had his there.
Well, he gets it right under the Bruins' face shield, as a matter of fact, but I'm not completely sure it was intentional or not, Dan, but no, we never, we might get a look at it right here, but he does end up getting it right there, right up high under Barnes' face shield, and draws the 2 minutes for high sticking. But, you know, on the one side of the coin, you're right, there seems to be a lot more of that kind of thing happening now, and there probably wasn't. We'll get a look at it over here again. It's right, well, he does pull it up there pretty good. He gets a good hook on him, drags him right down. I really think he attempted to hook the man, but there were sure a lot of cuts and stitches in the old days as well. Some of the older hockey players' face looked like parts of the moon, man.
Bruins on a power play. It's their third time tonight with the man advantage. They are 1 for 2. That's identical to the Blades power play tonight. Both teams have good penalty killing units as well. The late offside stopped to Chuk in too soon at the blue line. In our second intermission tonight, that's the player number 18 for New Westminster that will have join us, Sean LeBrun. And he's had a great start to this season, scoring a lot of points for New Westminster.
And he's also the leading player on the club in the plus-minus at plus 14. You know, he only had 21 goals last year, and right now he's the leading scorer on the hockey club. So he, amongst many others, is having good years offensively.
10 goals and 24 points. Zankowski now to Rawson. Try to find Sage. Zankowski chasing it on the boards. Kachuk to it first and sends it down the ice. 2-1, New Westminster leads Saskatoon. All the scoring between the 5 and the 8-minute mark of the opening period. We're nearing the midway point of the second period. Moore being shadowed by a couple of Blades. Sends it to LeBrun. LeBrun in over the line. Drops it back for Sage. They're trying to get some room to operate, but it's sure hard right now. LeBrun dumped a little bit. It's in his legs. Here's Sage. Quick little shot. Rawson from behind the net. The Blades are pouncing right on. There's a chance. Cheveldae makes a save. LeBrun now to Rawson. Rawson holding it back to Jay Moore. Winds up, takes a shot. Doesn't reach the net. The Blades seem to be beating the Bruins to the loose puck here. There's Rawson. Tripped up, back to the blue line. Here's LeBrun. His shot knocked down. And a good block by Tony Twist. Moore has it. Loose puck. Chance in front of it. It looked like too many men on the ice there on that change. The Blades get away with it. And that's what created the Saskatoon chance. One guy was going off way behind the play, and another one hopped over the bench to start a 2-on-1, which happens a lot of times in the second period. In over the line, there's a shot. That's stopped by Woodley. That shot taken by Clayton Chappell. Saskatoon with Chappell again. Cutting in, they're back at full strength. Did a great job killing the penalty. And Moore has it. 2-1 New West. 10:15 to go, second period. Could be icing here. Decision touches it. Face-off will go back in New West territory.
Bruins very, very guilty of a cross-ice pass. It was Haas, I believe, that made the cross-ice pass in his own zone. That is a definite no-no. I don't know, get the chance to see that again, but boy, you get that puck along the wall, especially at the end of a shift like that, when you're tired, you got to make sure you dump it out along the boards. Here's a good chance by the Bruins, or by the Saskatoon team. I thought he would have passed the puck. At that position, you're not going to beat Woodley very often, and Woodley standing up well to make both saves. But as that play continued, we had a very poor cross-ice pass, and it almost resulted in another Saskatoon scoring chance.
Now we're halfway through the hockey game, at least regulation time. Team's at full strength. Epoch puts the puck in front of the net. Shovelday has it. Right to Hawes, who put it in front of the net. Bader has it for Saskatoon. Benrath trying to center a shot. Good save by Shovelday. Now some more Bruin pumping. Again, the puck on the boards, brought out by Saskatoon. Clayton Chappell had it for a moment, lost it. Now Spinrath. Knocked off the puck for a moment by Clark. Butka for Saskatoon, can't get possession. Clark bumps at Jake. Bader has it for Saskatoon. Jakes. And Clark battling for the puck. And the little battles all night long continue. Here's Spinrath with a breakaway. Spinrath ready to goal. Good save, Shovelday. And Spinrath was set up all alone in front of the net. That's the best scoring chance in some time. Epoch clears it center ice. LeBrun has it. Now gets it back from Daniels. LeBrun. Boy, sure tight quarters. Not much room to operate in this period. Still loose in the corner. Wrapped around the board. Gobbled up by Chase. He gets it to Twist. Twist shoots it down the ice. Could be icing, but no, it's a planned play, and they get to it first, but they lose it just as quickly as they get it. LeBrun back the other way, takes a shot. That goes wide. Teams making changes. It's very tight checking right now. Another chance in center ice. That broken up. LeBrun sends it to Rennie. Shot on goal, saved by Shovelday, and he holds on to stop the play.
Not only is the checking and all over the ice in tight quarters, the guys with the puck have not get very much room, as you see Rennie uncork a long shot, but there isn't anybody open to give the puck to right now either. Everybody seems to be covering everybody else, and you know, that's probably what you'll find happen in a 2-to-1 hockey game. Just past the halfway point, this Saskatoon team's got to figure, hey, we're in this game, as they attempt to break out right now and get the puck out beautifully. So, and Bruins, on the other hand, also playing well defensively.
Sexsmith and Tachuk battling court. Sexsmith gets it. I think those two have been the best two on the ice, and Kostar as well, from a Saskatoon standpoint. And that's the whole line out there, and they've been prominent, as we thought they might be. That's their top line, to be sure. Rossick trying to find a little room to sneak it through some skates. Instead, it's tied up, knocked out, and back comes Sexsmith. Right wing Kosar, offside, as he couldn't handle the pass cleanly. These two teams did not meet last year because it was not interlocked, but the previous 3 years, New Westminster has a record of 1-4-1 versus Saskatoon. So they've only defeated this Blades team once in 5 years. They'd like to do it tonight. They've never done it at home ice in the last 2 years.
This is a good chance by a pretty rugged line here. I think this is Spenrath getting a chance to walk in, but the three players, Daniels, Hawes, and Spenrath, not noted for an awful lot of scoring to this point this year in the league. And boy, they had a lot of meat and a lot of muscle out there. A couple wingers over 200 pounds, and Daniels not a small guy himself. Oh, that's good to see them back off of that right there, Dan. If you're going to fight, drop the sticks, get it over with, and let's be done. But don't just stand there and jostle and swing the sticks back and forth and antagonize.
7:25 to go in the second period. Dan Russell with Bill Wilms. Coach John Van Horlick's New Westminster Bruins leading 2-1 with the face-off in their zone, and it's been very tight checking in the last 10 minutes or so. The first period had more offensive chances. Bruins win that face-off. They've won a lot of the face-off tonight. That's one category they definitely lead in. I'd say the hitting's about even. Backcourt in his own zone is Kelly Cutawetz. Loose puck at the side, as that giveaway by Cutawetz almost cost the Blades. Jakes at the right point takes a shot, doesn't reach the net. Kerry Clark will get to it first for Saskatoon. He's ridden out of the play just as soon as he gets it by Rawson. Ends up getting an icing. Or they wave it off. It was indicated for a moment. Backhand shot wide. Pinching in to hold the puck in is Curtis Lucian. Now Sage has it. Long pass. Zankowski. Butka. Fans complain. They held it. There's a Bruin penalty coming up here. Lucian at the point. Lost it. 6 attackers right now. Sexsmith has it. If he leaves that puck go, there might be a chance. No, good smart play by Rawson to leave it go, because that might have been a goal if he not touched it and it had enough velocity to get in the net. Instead, it results in a Saskatoon chance for not touching it. Maybe it wasn't a bright idea. Kosa shoots it. Stop, now a penalty. And I don't know what this call is all about. It's a slash. Saskatoon will have the man advantage.
It only happened about 2.5 minutes ago, it seems, and it was that long that the Saskatoon team played without a goaltender in the net with the 6 skaters up front. They do an outstanding job of puck handling. Their puck control is very, very good. For a team that really doesn't play in this building very much, they must have half their team, 3/4 of their team has not played in the building, and it's tough playing in here. We got a small rink. You got to look at the man on whom the penalty was called on, Stuart Sage. But this Saskatoon team doing a good job on puck control, and they do have a 2-minute advantage here with 6:14 left in the second period.
You should point out that their home rink is almost identical in size, so they're quite used to playing on a smaller ice surface. And I have a 40-year-old rink, which they're in their last season, and it was built in 1937, the old Saskatoon Arena. They're going to go to Saskatoon Place, and it seats 8,000, and they'll be there by mid-February. I think the kids are looking forward to getting into a new building. Shot in front. Pick up the announcement on the penalty. It's slashing for Sage. 13:44, Saskatoon on the man advantage. They trail 2-1 in the hockey game. Jason Christie back to Butka. Now into the corner. Here's a chance for Lucian. Side of the net. Puck is loose. Behind the goal it goes. It's back here to the point. Lucian in front of the net. Butka takes a shot. Wide. Tony Twist trying to keep it in. Lucian pinches. Christie from behind the goal. Blue line twist. Winds up. Fakes. Lucian trying to pass it in front. Ends up on Woodley's possession. Even though it was a pass, Woodley intercepts it and holds on.
Tony Twist, big 200-pound, all of them, stands right in the front of the net on the power play. Now, at this point, he's gone back to the point, and he's responsible for the shot, but it was something to see 2 Bruins come to the front to check him, and they just bounced right off him. He's a defenseman who now, at this point, is heading right for the front of the net, positions himself. It's definitely the power play that the Saskatoon team is using tonight. We've seen it several times. They're very content to put one man in front of Ray Woodley and position him there all through the power play, and they try to work it around from it.
Lower angle replay here. There's 1:17 left in the penalty to Sage, and he's one of their better penalty killers, so they miss him out here in this situation. It's back to Butka at the point.
Now it's Clark that they put in front of the net.
They have an interesting formation on their faceoff, Bill, where they have 4 up front. Here's a chance. Good save, rebound, fine save in front, and a shot wide on the third opportunity. Woodley making a great save on one of them, and then the next one was put wide. Saskatoon almost connecting with the man advantage. Menard gets it out. When they faced off, they only had 1 point man and 4 up front. Lucian back for it. Look at the Saskatoon bench.
Doing it!
All standing there as they watch a 2-line pass go offside. Well, we mentioned the arena in Saskatoon. They've been drawing very well at home, over 3,000 per game. They're forecasting they'll get 5,000 or so in their new rink. And we welcome the viewers watching from Saskatoon tonight on their cable affiliate.
Watch the positioning of Ray Woodley here. He's right in front. And that shot, that was after the second save. And really, even Donna Menard, number 17, slid in behind him to try to block that shot, and it just was about an inch wide.
4:50 to go in the period. 2-1 New Westminster. There's 32 seconds left in Sage's minor. Saskatoon still with the man advantage. Very tight checking, low scoring game here tonight. And over the line. Pass in front. Christie right in. Behind the goal he has to. Christie back to the blue line. Colin Bauer Other point, Christie in front, shot, great save, rebound, split wide. Christie was robbed in front by Woodley. There might be the save of the hockey game. Jason Christie thought he had a goal on the power play. Woodley stuck out the left pad. Great play. Super save. Here's Saves coming back the other way. Almost getting a shot on goal. Centering pass. Shot at the side of the net. Now Christie shaking his head as he leads another way. Oh boy, what a fine save that was. Puck knocked off the boards all the way back into New West territory. Jakes has it. Pass to Zankowski. Zankowski centers or puts it into Saskatoon territory. Sage in there to forecheck. Bader has it on the boards. This pass goes astray. Barnes intercepts, puts it back in. Now it is tied up on the boards for Sutcliffe. Still loose, sent down the ice by Moore. A lot of play along the boards tonight. If you just joined us, it's very tight checking. I think the purists would love a game like this. A lot of great play without the puck. Rennie in over the blue line with Barnes. Centering pass went wide. Rennie taken out after he centered the pass by Twist. Bader knocked down by LeBrun as he tried to take LeBrun out. Back to Epoch, rolling puck, shot tipped, loose to the corner. I'd say they have about a half a second every time, Bill, and there's somebody on them. Not much room to operate. It's a night for the bumpers and the muckers, and not for the offensive guys. But they got to have their nights too. Moore takes a shot. This went wide, almost found Twine as he went right from the blue line on a weak shot. Rennie, right in front of the net, can't get a shot away. LeBrun back to the blue line. Good checking by the Bruins. Shot tipped. Goes wide of the net. Again, the Blades with Sutcliffe will try to get it out. And again, Sutcliffe is forechecked. Tachuk can't get it out. The Bruins hold it in. It's been in there for about a half a minute. And it's still in there. Epoch puts it behind the net. Here comes a penalty to Saskatoon, so the forechecking does pay off.
Well, I'd like to see this for the last about 30 seconds because it was a very sustained forechecking effort by the Bruins to the point that Tony Twist, totally frustrated by the pressure that was exerted on his squad, he ended up grabbing Barnes and pulling him down, but my goodness, they just kept coming at him and at him there. That's the end of it. Twist has just had enough. He says, I got to get him out of there, and pulls him right off the puck right down.
Number 3, Tony Twist. 2 minutes for holding. The time, 17:49.
All right, the Bruins on their fourth power play. Boy, they love to cash in here late in the period.
2:11 left in the period and a 2-1 hockey game. You have to say that a goal scored by either team in the last 2 minutes here would certainly be a big one.
Here comes Moore from the point. Shot doesn't reach the net. Hawes on the rebound. Shot goes high. Good chance for Mike Hawes. Puck loose. Battle for in the corner. They keep mucking around for it, and finally they stop the play.
I don't know how Mike Hawes can have that much time after the shot was made to find his own or find a rebound with the puck at his feet, turn around and get another shot. That isn't very good defensive play by the Saskatoon team in front of their own net, but might be one of the few breakdowns they've had because they have played well behind their blue line. Hawes in there ready to take this face-off.
And he lost at that time to the Blades. Puck hammers it around the boards. They get it out nicely through center ice. This is Jason Christie, who was robbed by Woodley a few moments ago. Now while penalty killing, Christie knocked off the puck and the Bruins get possession.
Sorry, Dan, it was Scott Daniels. It wasn't Mike Hawes. Number 22, White.
All right, Spinrath puts it behind the net. Chevalday puts it to the corner. We've seen good goaltending at both ends tonight. In fact, to Jakes, his shot tipped on its way by Spinrath, but Chevalday makes the save. At least I think it was tipped. He certainly was there in front of the net. Didn't change directions that much. Now the Blades get out with Christie to center ice. They are short-handed, so they're very content to put it in and change their penalty-killing unit. There's a minute 7 left in the period. It's 2-1 for the Bruins. We're in the second period, and we'll talk with Sean LeBrun in our intermission.
Last minute of play in the period.
Jakes back for it. 44 seconds left in the penalty. It'll expire just before the period does. Jakes, now to Moore. They are unable to set this thing up so far. They shoot it in. Sage gets to it first on the boards. Or does he? That's a corner we have a little trouble seeing, so we watch it off the monitor, and we find the puck did end up out of play. And there's a look at Stuart Sage of the New West Bruins, who continues to shine at both ends of the ice, and he has just been a standout again tonight.
And he leads the club in percentage of shots, goals scored per shots at 28%. He leads the club in power play goals with 4, and I'll tell you, he's just a pleasure to watch every time out. Might mention Stuart Sage played as Pee-wee, Bantam, and Midget hockey in the Burnaby area.
Epoch down to Menard, puts it behind his own net. This is on a power play. Now we got a little action at center ice. Sage skating away from Kelly Chase, who wanted something to do with Sage, maybe try to get the best or one of the better Bruins off the ice. But wisely, Sage skated away, and Chase could be fortunate he didn't get some kind of a delay of the game penalty. We'll be back on in a week. Brandon Wheat Kings. Bill Shinsky, general manager, former New West Bruin. And when you think of the Shinsky days, you do think of New West versus Saskatoon. These two teams met in the WHL final for 2 years in a row, and the Bruins won both of them. That was during their string of 4 straight Memorial Cup appearances. The Saskatoon Blades, an original franchise, their 22nd year, and they're still looking for their first Western Hockey League championship as the play goes for a stoppage with a glove hand pass. Kind of interesting, Bill, that this is the only team now in the Western League that was here right from the beginning, and they're here right at 22 years later.
And you wonder where coaches like Jackie McLeod, who was with this club for many years, one of the illustrious coaches of the team. I wonder if he's back in Saskatoon. If he is, or in the area watching this game, I'd certainly like to say hi to him. We sure remember a lot of his wonderful teams as he's been involved in Western Hockey League.
Barnes brings it in over the line with LeBrun. LeBrun takes a shot. As soon as he takes that shot, he takes a bit of a jolt, but the buzzer sounds, and that is, of our 3 telecasts this year, Bill, the tightest checking, most grinding period that we've had.
Very few good quality scoring chances in that period. We had a wide open first period where we had 28 shots. I don't know what they are this period, but you're absolutely right. There is very, very difficult to get the quality scoring chances. But, you know, I'm impressed again with the players that Van Horlick uses on his power play. With 2 minutes and 11 seconds left in the period, and a man advantage with a 2-1 hockey game. I look up, he's got Spenrath, Daniels, and Haas on the ice. Now, these are 3 rugged guys. We'll pick up the shots here, Dan.
8 by Saskatoon, 8.
And that tells the story. And there you look at the Bruins dressing room as you see the players go right into their own dressing room, and that's a great shot by our camera crew as you see Stu Sage, and that's exactly very unique. We never had a chance to do that yet, Bill, but it's kind of interesting to see teams go in and throw off their equipment. They look a little upset right now.
Well, they're certainly tired. Like you say, it's a grinding game. They played last night in Portland. They've had to come back here tonight, and to get involved in this kind of game where this game puts that much of a demand on you physically tonight, it really is something. I gotta believe they're tired, but I think Saskatoon is very delighted. They got to be extremely delighted to be in this hockey game, 2-1 after 2 periods, with an opportunity to win on the road.
I know it's November, but it looks a little like playoff hockey out there tonight.
Well, very much so. Both players, both teams not giving an inch out there. As you said many times, the checking was very, very tight, but it was difficult to find somebody open to give the puck to, and consequently not many scoring chances.
All right, in a moment we're going to talk with Sean LeBrun from the New Westminster Bruins. Be interesting to see how the Blades come out here in the third period. I think that, as you mentioned, they will want to keep it pretty tight and hope for that one chance. They've had some chances. I could think of Christie being robbed by Woodley, and Tachuk had a couple of chances from point-blank range. I would think right now that they have to be, like you say, pretty happy and just continue to be patient. They
got a small club up front. They don't have the large forwards, and some of the small guys are really scooting out there and really skating and getting involved. It's this kind of game going into the third period that I would like my chances if I had a bigger club and a little bit more rugged wingers and a little bit more rugged forwards. I have a feeling that the New West Bruins will wear this club down a little bit, at least the Saskatoon forwards in the third period. Well, that's a good-looking hockey club that's come in here and played 2 periods to this point. I might mention early that our chart that we showed early in the hockey game had this game a kind of a toss-up. We had a little bit of a Bruin advantage, and it looks like that's the way it is right now.
Yeah, it is. This is the second of a 6-game road trip for Saskatoon. After tonight, they'll go to Victoria, and then after that, it's down to Portland, over to Seattle, then Spokane, and then home. All right, with our second period intermission, we have New Westminster Bruins standing by, Sean LeBrun. Sean, that's I don't know if you like that kind of hockey, but it seems to me you should, because that's bumping kind of hockey.
Well, that's the kind of hockey that I think that we're going to have to play to get anywhere in this division. Certainly to beat Kamloops, we're going to have to bump them because small guys and they like to skate a lot.
You're happy with the score, or are you happy with the way your club has played?
Oh, definitely. I think that we showed them that West Division is no pushover, and I think our club's going to come on the third and really put it to them.
How excited are you about playing interlocking hockey?
My first year, when we went out back east and that, I never really got to play that much, so I was really looking forward to it this year.
I'll tell you, you're off to a terrific start this year. Are you surprised that you're getting as many points as you are? I know that you're enjoying that part, but perhaps it's a little bit of a surprise to us up here because we don't honestly think of you as a high-scoring player, but just a consistent scorer.
Well, that's how I like to think of myself, someone who plays consistently a lot, but I can't really say I'm surprised at the amount of points I've got. I've been getting loads of ice time, so certainly that helps.
Are you getting as many of the checks in that you used to have? I don't think you're spending quite as much time in the penalty box.
No, I'm not really been known for the kind of guy that sits in the penalty box a lot, but this year they've told me to stress the body play a lot more, so that's kind of what I've been working on.
You have to be thrilled, along with the guys who were here last year, of how quickly it's turned around this year. I mean, if you just remember last March and how down it was, and here you are right now. If you win tonight, you're 1 point out of first place in November.
Definitely. Like last year, we finished, I think, second worst record in Canada, and this year, if we win tonight, we have the highest percentage of wins in all of Canada. So certainly, it's turned around.
Why do you think it's turned around, though?
It's hard to say. I think coaching starts from we have someone who just leads us now. Last year, we were just all going in different directions. Now we're just all been tunneled in one direction, so I think that's helped a lot.
When you come to the rink now, you must come thinking you're going to win, as opposed to last year thinking you might lose.
Yeah, that's for sure. We were joking about that last night. Guys ask each other, why this year it's, do you think we're going to win? And, oh yeah, no problem. Last year was, do you think we're going to lose? And everyone just kind of shakes their heads, eh?
Wow. What do you expect in the third period here, Sean?
Third period, I think kind of more of the same. It's going to be a lot more bumping and grinding. I don't think there's going to be as much skating. It's going to be a lot tougher hockey, I think.
Hey, keep up the good work. Your play is excellent this year. Let's hope it continues throughout the rest of the season. I'll let you get back in the dressing room, and thanks very much for joining us.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, Sean, bye-bye. Sean LeBrun from the New Westminster Bruins. 2 periods has been completed. We have our summary, and then Bill Wilms has some highlights for you when we come back with more hockey from Queen's Park Arena following this message.
The first one really, and it really typified the play in that period, was a goaltending. Here's a good save by Ray Woodley. He makes the first save, but as important on this is his positioning on the second opportunity. Here it is, right there. Now he just gets that left pad out, but look where he is on the second save. Good goaltenders will drift out rather than back into their net when they make that kind of save. And I think that's one of the advantages of having a goalkeeping coach work with the team this year, is that they get even a little advantage in goaltending. Here's the save at the other. This is Spenrath, big 26 for New West, coming through one of the best scoring chances they had. But look at the positioning on the Saskatoon goaltender there, shoveled there, and he's just in superb position. He's up in a hurry, and the play continued. But that's the kind of period we had with good goaltending at both ends. Not an awful lot of scoring chances. I believe we had about 8 shots apiece that period.
After New Westminster was outshot 15-13 in the first. One category the Bruins are really leading in, Bill, is faceoffs.
They have won 34 out of 45 to this point. Scott Daniels leads in 12 wins and 2 losses in faceoffs, and that is could be a very important statistic in this kind of game in the third period.
And Daniels has struggled in the face-off circle this year. There's a shot that goes wide for Saskatoon as we start the period. Teams at full strength. Blades in blue shooting right to left. Bruins in white shooting left to right. Blades putting on pressure. Here's a backhand shot in front of the net. That was taken by Sexsmith. And now it goes out and down the ice. Icing could be the call here. Back to touch it. Butka. Face-off will come back. The goaltenders are Woodley and Chevelday. The goal scorers in this game, you have to go way back to the first period. Tachuk opened it at the 5-minute mark of the first. 6:46. Rawson tied it for New West. Jay Moore at 8:16, and we haven't had a goal in now over 33 minutes of this hockey game.
We've done enough junior hockey to know that, hey, things could really explode. I wouldn't be surprised to see 4 or 5 goals this period. That's just the nature of the beast when you're dealing with junior hockey players. It could also end up being a tight game. I doubt it. I think we're going to see a number of goals yet. And as I said before, I would not be surprised if the bigger Bruin forwards end up taking control in this game.
The Saskatoon Blades trailing New Westminster by a score of 2-1, but they're out to a good start here in the third period with the forechecking. Let's see if the Bruins can get it out. They do, but right to a Blades player, put in offside. They do not clear the zone enough, so Bruins will have a chance to get this puck out. And offside stops the play at the blue line.
It'll be interesting to see how the teams, both teams, handle the pressure of the other team's forechecking. You know, you go over your breakout system all the time. Both coaches have to continually, during the game, remind players of how you're coming out of your zone. Teams will spend up to 40 minutes of practice just working on breakout. And when the score is 2-1 playing the last period, you really got to see that you come out of your end properly.
Tony Twist puts the puck over to Lecision, back for Twist. Lost it at the blue line. Rawson giving chase on Lecision. Puts it back against the grain. Twist gets it right to the blue line. Good shot by Jakes. Good leg saved by Chevelday. Sage now to Menard. Long shot again. It squirts loose, almost through, but just went wide. Puck centered. Here's a chance for Sage. His shot hit Zankowski. Bruins almost snuck one in from the blue line on Donald Menard's shot. Lecision with a little room, but not much in this game. Can't get it out. Bruins tie it up on the boards. They stop the play.
That entire play began with what I thought was an excellent effort at coming out of their zone. The flow went to the right of the Saskatoon net, behind their net, and the Saskatoon defenseman wisely went counter. You threw the puck the opposite way along the boards against the flow, and normally you'd come out clean on top of that, but unfortunately they couldn't. It resulted in a lot of pressure.
Well, that's the end of it on the fine save.
Again, Sage looking for somebody to give it to. There's the shot from the point. And that just about trickled through.
Back to the live action. Butka's shot just went wide. Some of the players put their sticks up thinking that it was going to be in. At least Christie did. And that was a bit of a weird shot. I don't know exactly what happened on that shot by Butka as we resume back to our live action here. Maybe get a chance to look at that if time permits in a moment. Woodley puts it around the boards. Epoch has it. Trying to get to Rennie. Can't miss him. Epoch gets it back again. Again tries to hit Rennie and again misses him.
Go!
Epoch on a third chance to get it through. Still can't find a man. Epoch struggling there, but doing a good job at least getting it out of his own zone, even though it keeps going to Blade players. Now Moore will try his luck. Around the other boards, LeBrun off his backhand into the Bruins bench area. 2.5 minutes gone. Third period, 2-1 New Westminster.
I thought Sean LeBrun hit on something interesting in the interview, and that was that when teams play interdivision competition, you know, you're playing for the rest of your division. It was important for New West to show the Saskatoon team, the Eastern Division, that they play good hockey, and I'm sure Saskatoon's out here right now as a representative of the Eastern Division. So there's a lot of things at stake besides just the actual play on the ice. There's a lot of pride.
There's a chance for the point. The shot went high as Woodley jumped to make the save. Now the Bruins will try to get it out. The Bruins will make their first Eastern swing just before Christmas. Puck comes back out towards center ice. Jakes has it. Jakes. That's for Daniels. Bodied off the puck there by a full line. Penrath in the corner takes out the lead player Bauer. Puck in the slot. Shot on goal. Save. Big rebound. It's loose. A backhand shot just went wide. As Penrath, a blind backhand shot, almost found the net. Clayton Chappell. Chappell, long pass. Goes all the way up for the Bruins zone. And Donald Menard goes back for it. Jakes. Tries to get it out, can't. Now it's tapped out to center ice. Still 2-1 New Westminster. It's still tight checking. And it's still anybody's hockey game. Dan Russell with Bill Wilms. Our producer Paul Bertel with Western 4 Sports at Queens Park Arena. Menard. Now to Haas. Haas with a little room. Puts it in. All the Bruins head to the bench. 5 fresh skaters. That gives the Blades a chance to come out. Tachuk cutting in on goal. Nice pass in front. There's a great save by Woodley. Another chance in front. And it's turned to the corner. Closer robbed by Ray Woodley on a fine stop. One of the great saves of this hockey game.
One of the few times that a man was wide open and ended up getting the puck, and we said before, it's the guy without the puck that's going to be very dangerous in this kind of game, and Woodley there to make the save.
He's been great. Icing is the call, and it comes back. Corey Kosa robbed by Ray Woodley from point-blank range on a fine save to preserve a Bruin 1-goal lead, at least for now.
Well, it's the kind of thing. Watch the far right side of your screen. There's nobody there. He corrals the puck in a hurry, and look at Woodley's positioning there to make that save. But that's the kind of thing you're going to have to be so careful about right now, because that's the thing that'll break the game wide open. All of a sudden, somebody without the puck's going to get the biscuit on his stick, and the thing's going to be in the net.
And that play goes out after the Bruins shot it off the end boards. When we get a little chance here in the third period, and we mentioned Saskatoon's been in the league 22 years, you can certainly know that there's been a lot of players from that Saskatoon junior franchise that go in the NHL, and we'll give you some of those names in just a minute. Face off outside the Saskatoon blue line. We played 4.5 minutes, third period. It's still 2-1 for New Westminster, thanks a great deal to Ray Woodley. As he robbed Koser there, and Christie, the guy with the puck a moment ago, was robbed late in the second period. And we're talking Rob. Zankowski puts the puck to the corner, saves, left it there. Loose, goes back to the point. Here's a chance by Kuntz, and that high shot is stopped by Chevelday. But he didn't expect a high one, but a big tall goalie makes a good save anyway. The Blades defenseman passing it back and forth. Kutowicz gets it up to Kotelnikov. That's a tough one. Kutowicz to Kotelnikov. And they do it again. Kutowicz in over the line. His shot, that's again high, and it goes off Ray Woodley's blocker into the seats.
Well, Tracy Kotelnikov, number 18, headed for the bench on a well-deserved rest. Been voted the best two-way player for the Saskatoon team the last 2 years. And that's quite an honor, but get a look at a Bruin opportunity right here, and boy, I'll tell you, this goaltending is just outstanding. Watch the positioning here of the goalkeeper, and really, he just took that thing up high. He's way out of the net, no chance of a rebound getting on the net at that play. And again, that's something you're going to watch for now, too, is those second shots. Make sure the rebound is cleared.
The positioning of both goaltenders tonight has been great. Here's Barnes right in, his shot well out to make the save with Chevelday. And he's almost trapped, but the puck does go to the corner, and finally the Blades get it. Boy, was he out a long way to make that save.
I have never seen a guy come out further. He lost his balance a bit, but he ended up close to the board.
Rennie cutting in on goal, right in, he shoots it wide, and again Chevelday cut down the angle. Didn't come out quite as far, but not much to shoot at for Rennie. The chances are few and far between, and unable to cash in have been both teams since early in the first period. And again, they battle for the puck on the boards. This time, Saskatoon wins it, and Colin Bauer headmans it out to Bader. He shoots it in, heads to the bench on a line change. 6 minutes gone, third period, still 2-1 New West. Twist from the point, high shot. That's well high off the glass. Jakes takes out his man. Tachuk in the corner for Saskatoon, centering it. Backhand shot, easily turned aside by Tachuk. Twist from the blue line. His shot didn't reach the net. Rennie blocked it and got it out to center. Dean Sexsmith. Long pass. Tachuk picks it up on the boards, looking for somebody. Tachuk at a sharp angle. His shot is stopped by Woodley. Tachuk had nobody to pass to, so he said, well, I better shoot it. And Woodley made the save. Loose puck. Here's Barnes cutting it on goal. Barnes right in. Great save. Chevelday is still loose. And it's side as Barnes, Johnny on the spot to pick up a loose puck. The Blades ice it. Menard in the race for it. Menard touches it first, icing. The call on Saskatoon.
Well, we might get a look at the scoring opportunity for Barnes. Again, a player with his talent is able to just shuffle the puck to his backhand, and he tried to slide the puck, but no way. Tim Chevalier there to make the save. And a good play by Menard in the Bruin end, and I'm really impressed with the play of Donald Menard tonight. I haven't seen a lot, if any, of Mark Kuntz. We're wondering if he's in fact. Here's watch the play all the way back from the Bruin end here. We'll pick it up, and no, that's the end of the play, the icing then. But I don't think Mark Kuntz has played very much, if at all, tonight. He looks like he's hurt, and it looks like Menard getting a lot of action and playing well.
Kuntz has had a few shifts. Here's Christie in front of the goal. And he just had one about a few minutes ago, but certainly not that much tonight. Haas in over the line, in on Butka. Haas centering pass. Penrath can't catch up with it. Daniels goes to it for the corners. Penrath gets to it first. Haas behind the net. Nobody in front. So they go back to the point to Jay Moore. He winds up, shoots. Went wide, not by much. And the net comes off its support as two players crash into the goal. But Moore let a good, hard, low shot go from the point and just missed. Here's a chance for
Barnes' opportunity. You see, he tries to slide it to his backhand, but boy, goalkeeper not making any move there at all, and it really didn't even end up being that closer play. But just a minute ago here, Chevalier so far out of the net on the shot from the point, there was a lot of traffic behind him. You're going to play the game between what was left between him and the goalpost, so he's coming out of the net, and sometimes that can end up beating you.
Epoch from the point on his backhand, trying to center it to Chuk. Intercepts, comes back 2-on-2. Tachuk with Kosar. Look at Tachuk go back towards the net as he scampered through, but the pass back from Kosar was intercepted. Here's offside at the goal line. Good call by the linesman over there on the far side. That Tachuk has great wheels.
I think he's the outstanding forward for the Saskatoon team tonight from what we can see, but he seems to be one of a number of smaller players that are really motoring. Might mention also Paul Epoch is playing very well tonight. He and Donald Menard, a couple of defensemen, and maybe haven't gotten all that much action, are coming through big.
First-year man, Epoch, number 6, going for the puck from Kenilworth, Ontario. Epoch.
Oh, beautiful pass.
To Sage, now for Zankowski. Another collision. Jakes has it. Back again from Sage. Jakes holds face. Doesn't know what quite to do with it. Lost it in his skates. And it goes all the way down the ice. Oh, Woodley misses it. Tachuk scores! Oh, no. A soft goal for the Blades as Woodley misplayed the puck. Didn't know what to do on a potential icing. Tachuk, who can scamper, picked it up. And a fluke goal by the Blades ties it up.
Well, here it is. It's Woodley trying to handle that puck, and oh my goodness. You know, that's the liveliness of the boards out here. He had just a split second there. He took his eye off the puck. It bounces off that yellow portion around the bottom of the wall with a tremendous amount of speed. It comes out in a hurry, and right there, the Saskatoon player to punch it in.
And it comes exactly 40 minutes after the last goal in this hockey game. It was 8:16 of the first period when Moore put the Bruins up 2-1, and now it's 8:16 when Tachuk ties it here in the third.
Watch it now. You see, it's just absolutely unbelievable how quickly this comes off the end boards.
Not only that, but
assisted by number 10, Colin Bauer. Time of the goal, 8:16.
8:16, Tachuk second of the night, his 10th of the year. But what was so confusing for Woodley was whether he should play it because of the icing or not. And he elected not to the first time. Had he played it the first time, there's no goal in that situation.
There's not a lot of room between that yellow line and the back of the boards and the goal line. That puck comes out of that, travels through that distance in a hurry.
Well, it's unfortunate that it takes a goal like that in such a tight hockey game, but it's 2-2, and we'll see what happens now. Rennie in his skates, can't get up to it. There's LeBrun shoots. Good save, Chevalier. He's just turned and whipped it at the net. LeBrun again gets a pass from Rennie, getting some room. LeBrun shot into the seats. It went off the stick. Bill, we haven't done a game here in over a year with such little time for the players once they get it on their stick to get rid of it.
That's right. They've got to pass it quickly. In fact, it becomes a game of instinct. At this point, boy, you do a lot of things instinctively. Watch how little time you have. There's a good kick of the pass over to him, and that shot is deflected back out and ending up out of the rink. But you're right, Dan. It's just instinctive. And you know what impresses me a little bit? There's so much happening on the ice. Both coaches extremely calm. Hardly anybody talking on the bench over there, especially Marcel Como.
Here's an intercepted pass. Jake's shot is stopped by the defenseman, Dean Holloway, made a great block as Jake's turn and shot. Holloway gets it back again. Flips it off the boards. Menard holds it at the line. Puck loose. Still loose. There's a quick shot by Haas. And now the Blades try to ice it. That's how they got their last goal, trying to ice it. Maybe that's something to work on a bit more. Penrath puts it to the corner. 2-2 tie. Puck iced by the Saskatoon Blades. Won't be icing, though, hit Menard. He gets to it, knocks it off the boards. Penrath has a chance 2-on-2 to come out. Oh, hit it. Oh, what a hit at center. That was the end of the highway for Penrath. Back the other way. Here comes Chappell. In over the line. His shot, his stick, wide to the corner. Imagine these teams in the same division, Bill.
Great to see. I could stand to see him 100 times a season. This is great hockey.
2-2 tie halfway through the third. Back comes Lucian. Intercepted. Oh, Rawson almost snuck through. Back comes the Saskatoon Blades with Sexsmith. Didn't have much room, so he puts it to the corner. Sage knocks it off the boards. Here's Rawson trying to fly by himself. In on two Blades. Tripped up. Play on, says the ref. Play pass. Here comes Jankowski. Saved by Cheveldae. Jankowski took a great pass from Rawson. And he cut it alone. Good save by Cheveldae. Back comes Koser with Sexsmith and Tachuk. Koser trying to center it. Gets it back to Sexsmith. Intercepted. Here comes Sage. 3 Bruins the other way. Sage right in. Shoots just wide. Chances at both ends as it starts to open up. Now back comes Saskatoon. Here's Koser through center ice. Winds up. Shoots. Good save by Woodley on the long shot. And the Blades complete a line change. 8:42 to go, third period. It's a 2-2 tie. The Bruins ice the puck. Butka back to touch it, and icing is the call on New Westminster.
Pinch me, Dan. Is this March, or are we only in November? I mean, this is playoff hockey all the way.
It's great.
What a show they're putting on for the fans out here tonight. We got a 2-2 tie with 8:36 left in the period, and you know, it seems like that goal has fired up the Bruins even more. They've carried a little bit of the offense to this point since they've given up that fluke goal.
8 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the third period. It's a 2-2 tie. Dan Russell with Bill Wilms at Queen's Park Arena as Stu Barnes brings it in over the line, but it is offside as Barnes made an extra move at the line and Rennie was trapped. Well, we said earlier that we would mention some of the great players for Saskatoon over the years. They include, as we watch this replay, and we'll do that first.
And that's a good play because the Saskatoon defenseman standing up at the line there, except they let the winger home free. And that's Zankowski. And you don't rob him very often, but you'll see the Saskatoon team doing a pretty good job of holding the blue line. They just forced this face-off by forcing Barnes and standing up at the line.
We'll get to that list in a moment as Rennie gets it in over the line for LeBrun. LeBrun to Rennie in his skate. Loose on the far boards. Who's going to come out with it? Moore held it in. The Blades will bring it out. 3 of them through center ice. In over the line is Kotelnikov, and it is offside. Well, those names include Brent Ashton, who's now with Detroit, Bob Bourne of the Kings, Lindsey Carson and Dave Brown of the Flyers, Wendell Clark of Toronto, Bernie Federko, their all-time leading scorer of the St. Louis Blues, Brian Glynn now with the Flames and one of their top rookies, Joey Koser with Detroit, Lane Lambert of Quebec, Grant Ledyard with the Kings, Dave Lewis just retired from Detroit, Pat Price of the Rangers, Brian Scribbland of Montreal, and Darryl Stanley of the Canucks. Stanley actually played for both these teams out here tonight. But a fine list of Saskatoon alumni.
And I might mention 6 players at the current squad out here. We're at NHL camps this year, so we might see a few more in the years to come.
And 6 Bruins out here have been at NHL camps this year. Rennie behind the goal, behind the Barnes. Barnes trying to center it. Where's the puck? It's loose. Can they get it up high? And it is high, but it's too high for Rennie.
He rolled his hands once too often on the stick.
Barnes from the corner, scampering out, trying to find somebody. That player has no stick. There's a shot. And it went wide. The Blade player, Kerry Clark, had lost his stick. Did a pretty good job.
That's the time. That's the time.
LeBrun back the other way. It's a 2-2 tie. LeBrun trying to drop it in front of the goal. Good save by Chevelday. Loose puck. Rennie shoots. Simon scores! Sean LeBrun has given the new Westminster Bruins a 3-2 lead with exactly 7 minutes to go.
Well, now this time Rennie makes a great play. He just missed the goal prior to this by stick handling once too often and shooting high. This time he says, hey, I'm going to give the puck to somebody at the side of the net who knows how to put it in. He passes to LeBron, and there we go. We got a 3-2 hockey game, as you say, with 7 minutes left.
The 11th goal of the year for Sean LeBrun, and it came after some great pressure by New Westminster the last few minutes.
Just an outstanding pass from the youngster, Steve Rennie. He's got the puck right there. Look at that little flip over the stick. And there it is, LeBrun at the side of the net with a lot of room to put the puck in. But he had to make that pass, Rennie did, over top of a sliding defenseman stick, and he did just that.
3-2 for New Westminster.
Bruins' third goal, scored by number 18, Sean LeBrun.
Stolen puck in front of the Bruins goal.
Number 21, Steve Rennie, and number 14, Stu Barnes. The time, 13 minutes.
Back the other way, and Scott Daniels brings it in over the line. Spenrath's there. There's Haas in front of the goal. They can't get him the puck. Comes back to... There's that old chant. Where's that one been? Rah, rah, rah. Eat 'em up, says the fans. And we haven't heard that for a while. And they have every reason to be excited tonight and this season about a fine New West Bruin team who now leads 3-2. But we're seeing two excellent teams tonight in a great hockey game. There's 6:12 remaining as the play will go back into Saskatoon territory for the faceoff.
And I think it would be unwise of the Bruins, as you get a look at Tachuk out there, it would be unwise from the Bruins standpoint to start playing any kind of defensive hockey and try to go into any kind of a shell. I think that would be the worst mistake they could make at this point, because this is too good a Saskatoon team to do that to. I think they got to keep playing with what got them this one-goal lead, and that's a lot of hustle and a lot of forechecking and get the puck out on these situations right there.
There's Kuntz out on the ice right now for New Westminster for a rare shift. Sage has it. Uh-oh, a Saskatoon penalty coming up. Sage brings it in over the line, and Saskatoon touches it, and an untimely penalty in a not very desirable place to take a penalty. Trailing by one with just under 6 minutes remaining, Saskatoon is going to be shorthanded. That's our first penalty of the period.
And it's Kelly Chase getting the gate. As you say, a very unfortunate time. And as you called it, a bad place on the ice to take it. And I think it was in an altercation with Kuntz. Number 8, White. There's 22, Chase. It looks like he's held, and he just turns around and hacks him over the head with a stick, and certainly picks up the 2-minute high-sticking penalty.
Here's Rawson in over the line. High sticking for Chase at 14:09. The Bruins have a chance to put a 2-goal margin on the board here. No team has had a 2-goal lead tonight. It's 3-2 New West. Sage from behind the goal. Trying to center it. He can't get it. Now Saskatoon intercepts. Watch it. They are dangerous shorthanded too. Kotelnikov with Christie in front of the net. Kotelnikov hauled down, but the play is allowed to continue. And that might have been a good chance for the referee to even things up. Moore comes back the other way. Offside at the goal line. One defenseman that has not been on the ice for New Westminster tonight is Chelios.
I don't even... Dan, I think we just heard the attendance tonight, 2,203, and I'll bet you 2,000 of them got to be back for next game next Sunday night. I don't know if there's one in between, but we've got the Brandon team in here next week. If they're playing this kind of hockey as well, and we might mention they're higher in the standings than Saskatoon is, this place could be filled before long.
On the afternoon of Remembrance Day, the Seattle Thunderbirds are here to play New West, then the Brandon team. Barnes brings it in over the line with LeBrun on his right. LeBrun takes a pass. holds it, not much room, but he does get a little time. Plays it back to Menard, back for LeBrun. LeBrun takes a quick shot. Jakes from the boards, throws it behind the net. LeBrun will get to it there first. Nice pass to Rennie, side of the net. Barnes can't get him the clean pass. It ends up out at center ice. There's 4.5 minutes remaining in the third period. 35 seconds left in the Saskatoon penalty, and New Westminster leads the hockey game 3-2. Tkachuk can't get it out. Menard holds it in at the right point. Uh-oh, he almost lost it. Very fortunate to hold on, and still fortunate as Tkachuk and Kosar gets ready in front of the net. Here's LeBrun. Hold, shoots. Oh, and it doesn't go in. I think the defenseman, Horlick, knocked it down before it got in the net. LeBrun had a great chance at the side of the net to maybe put this one away. Back the other way, Scott Daniels fires it in. Cheveldae has it. The goaltender leads it for Colin Bauer. The penalty is over. Saskatoon back at full strength. The New West centering the puck. Great chance and a good save by Cheveldae once more. We've seen great goaltending at both ends.
And did you see how quickly he was up?
Offside at the blue line stops the play. And that's been very much the case tonight. Both goalies have made the great saves, but positionally, they put themselves in super places for the rebound.
And again, the Bruins find themselves in that position, as they have so often recently, of defending a lead. And we'll pick up the shot here. LeBrun getting the cross-ice pass. Now look at how long he waits till the goalkeeper goes down. He waits, he tries to go upstairs. Just plain out, I think, missed the goal, but did the right thing in waiting for the goalkeeper to commit himself first. He had to go down there, too. Fire the pads out, stack the pads at the side, as he did.
Number 16, Lucian, blocked 2 shots there for Saskatoon, giving their team a chance to come out. Bauer, headman pass for Sutcliffe. In over the line, plays it to Kerry Clark. Intercepted by Daniels, who knocks it out to center ice. There is now 3 minutes remaining in the third period. New Westminster leads at 3-2. 2-1 after the first period, 2-1 after the second period. Saskatoon tied it on a fluke goal, and then the Bruins went ahead on LeBrun's goal with 7 minutes left.
One of the things you got to be careful about at this point in the game is those cross-ice passes in your own zone when you're defending the lead, and the Bruins have done that so well this year, as you want to muck it out along the boards, especially in the opposing zone. You also got to be careful of your shots from the blue line. That's got to be blocked.
Butka's shot from the point doesn't reach the net, did hit a stick on the way through. Here's a chance for Corey Kosar's shot, doesn't reach the goal. Jakes made the block and then gets the rebound and knocks it out of play. And it just missed the spectators down below.
Well, it hit one, but luckily on the shoulder.
And the faceoff will originate in New Westminster Bruin territory.
And how important are faceoffs at this point?
Well, they've been winning the bulk of them.
They have, and it'd be a rotten time of the game to lose a couple of them because, boy, you're sure there's a good faceoff, very cleanly won by Scott Rawson.
And knocked out and down the ice by the Bruins. Waved off is icing. Full line. Lean forecheck. Jankowski comes out of the boards with the puck. Trying to center it. Rawson's in front if they can give him the loose puck. It's still loose. Here's Sage. Holding. Takes a shot. And it doesn't reach the goal. Here come the Blades. They might take some more chances offensively now. 2:20 to go. Tkachuk coming out of the corner. Tkachuk centering pass. Right in front of the net. Tkachuk. Holds, shoots. Scores! It's a 3-3 tie, and that guy has all 3 of them. Grant Tkachuk ties it with 2:14 left.
If we run this back far enough, which we won't, obviously, you should see the acceleration of Tkachuk coming out of his own end. He started this play all the way back in his own zone. That was the finish of it. That was the easy part. He had the whole net to put it in. But boy, did he accelerate out of his zone. He had those wheels pumping. He left everybody behind.
A natural hat trick and a timely one for Tkachuk. His 11th of the year, his 3rd of the night, 17:46 of the third period, and we're all tied up at 3-3.
Watch the open net he has. This is good work around the goal. Once the goalkeeper's down, there's a man in the crease, but he can't get out. He's no responsibility of the Saskatoon team, and the goal line open.
25, Corey Kosar, and number 6, Dean Halayan. Time of the goal, 17:46.
Well, this one line is combined for all the goals, and this one player has them all. That's Tkachuk, who we talked to in our first intermission. 1:48 to go in the third period. It's 3-3, and Tkachuk scored them all different ways. One on a power play, one on a fluke, and one on a sort of empty netish. They all count, and maybe it's fitting at this point it should be tied. But let's see what happens in the remaining moments of the third period. And, of course, overtime is a possibility now, and they play 10 minutes, sudden death. Knocked off the boards. Jakes has it. Lost it. Here's a chance for Saskatoon. Chappell right in, shoots it wide. Chappell had a chance to snap the tie. Puck comes out to the blue line. Whole line. Knocks it to Chappell. Chappell in over the blue line. The Blade putting on pressure. Christie cutting in a goal. Watch Butka. He's loose on the left boards, and he was all alone if they got on the pass. Now there's a minute left in the third period. 1 minute as they come back out to center ice. It's a 3-3 tie and overtime looming. Here's Stenrath for New Westminster. He puts it in. Hey, I think I'd like to see overtime tonight, Bill.
It's been a while since we've done it, Dan, and as a matter of fact, I think the last time we had overtime, you weren't around to enjoy it.
Well, I don't know where I was, but I'm not going anywhere tonight, I can tell you that.
And I believe it was the Saskatoon game of 2 years ago.
That's probably a weeknight game. I had to get back to the radio station.
That's exactly what it was, and Mr. Sandy Brown finished the game up here for us, and boy, that was quite an exciting night.
Well, we have a face-off in the outer edge of the circle for New Westminster's zone. And there's Ray Woodley, who has been a standout tonight, although I sure doesn't like that second goal even very much, even at this point. But you can't do anything about it now. Both goaltenders have just been outstanding. Woodley and Cheveldae. And Bill said there'd be more goals in this period. We saw some, but it's still tight. Saskatoon almost had a chance to win it when it was the final minute there. Let's see what happens here in the last 30 seconds. It's put in. Woodley has it, wraps it around the board. Sage gets it, knocks it out. 2-on-2 through center ice. Sage on the far boards. There's 17 seconds left. Maybe a chance for a Blade chance. They put it towards Woodley. Woodley gets it to Haas. Haas knocks it to the line and out. 8 seconds left. That shot's hammered in. Rebound to Chuk, who's been everywhere tonight. Has the puck on the boards. Holds it. Buzzer sounds. We're going to overtime in a 3-3 tie after 3 periods. We'll have a 2-minute intermission here, and we're going to take a break. We invite you to stay with us. New Westminster Bruins and Saskatoon Blades going to overtime. The score is 3-3, and we'll come back with the extra period following this message.